We have to start supporting ourselves. We have to add value to our content and our voices.
Hey, hey, haters gone, hate supporters done it.
We have to start supporting ourselves.
Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support on your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they done. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. Hey, 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 haters gone, hate supporters done it. Hey, 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 haters gone, hate supporters done it. Don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones. I'm really him or they dumb. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. I'm really real one of them. I'm really him, I'm real, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. I'm really real one of them. I'm really him, I'm real, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support on your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really him or they dumb. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support on your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really him or they dumb. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. I'm really real one of them. I'm really him, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. I'm really real one of them. I'm really him, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support on your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really him or they dumb. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support on your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really him or they dumb. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. Please don't, please support on it, I'm really one of them ones, I'm really him or they dumb. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. Cash app, $sign Unbiased RON. I'm really real one of them ones that they dumb. Thumbs up, subscribe, cash app, $sign Unbiased RON.
Yo, family, let me add my cash app. I can't have a cash app song there with no cash app. Presently, they anyway. So I've been on this channel a bunch of times recently this year. Okay, never looked good. Never looked good. Can't defeat me when it comes to the topic FBA. Okay, his sentiments. He gives straw man arguments. He misrepresent us. He misrepresent me directly. Some FBAs believe they were always on this land. Some FBAs believe they only came through slave ships. Some believe both. Some believe that we were on this land and came through slave ships, right? They give me a position. I'm talking about the haters, the Pan-Africans. They give me a position, never heard from me. Just hold me to what I said. I said slave ships. And I'm saying there's some people here already. You know. So just hold me to what I say. Don't give me a position. They gonna hold me to a straw man argument that I don't accept the slave trade. Okay, he's the one that said white people kidnapped, took, captured us from Africa, and he said nothing about Africans doing it. Chef, who was just over here, who was part of Unc pseudo killers, right? For the longest, said they argued that for 3 months. He said for 3 months, Unc argued that Africans did not sell us to white people. White people just came over there and took us. So I mean, now he's on a Saneter lying, trying to reinvent the story. He knows that the average Black American, they don't got to know anything. One thing they are going to know is that we were sold by African to white people. So now he's trying to save face now. Instead of just saying, hey, man, and make up some excuse, he's trying to act like that didn't happen that way. First he told Chef that I chopped and screwed the video. I played it just recently. Chef agreed that video was not chopped and screwed. So now he's trying to act like he wasn't arguing that. He was arguing something totally different, which is stupid. Stupid people say stupid stuff. Okay. Then I'm up Tariq Nasheed ASS. Now this is called defamation. I'm up Tariq Nasheed ASS. I'm just a follower. Just all of this to like try to set a stage, a narrative. So when I do come over there and cook them, people already believe something about me. Ain't that what scammers do? Scammers deceive. Okay. So hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me pick up this.
I don't know. They might you'd be surprised with a.
No, I'm good. If okay, but if a people gonna base their generation on crackhead experience, good luck.
I'm not saying basing an entire generation on crackhead experience. I'm saying is that you'd be surprised what a crackhead might know.
Right, and then but
all right. So I mean, I'm just trying to at this point come at his level because I'm like, bro, I didn't. So are you assuming that? Are you calling these elders crackheads?
So family, she's gaslighting. I made a crackhead analogy because she said people are elders because they live long with life experiences. I said, well, crackheads live long with life experiences. Are they elders too? So she's the one that equated the both, the two of them. So that's her insecurity in her elders' mental health.
Okay, I don't know where you're coming up with the crackhead thing, but I said, you know what? I'll come down to the bullshit level you're on, and we'll talk about crackheads. So just so you know, that's the reason why I didn't even take the conversation. If you're gonna like say crackhead, let's go talk about crackheads. But why are you saying crackheads and you have these three people up on the screen? Are you trying to say that they're crackheads? Like, what are we doing here? Let's go.
Yeah, but they got to bring it to the table, right? And we got to exchange. Like, I'm not just going to yield to you because you're 95 years old, because you got a lot of 95-year-olds who sold out the community. But what? Okay, so she said we got these people on the screen. You see what this big wildebeest just did? Oh, we got people on the screen. Are you saying they're crackheads? Because you said crackheads. So if I say elephants, lions, kings, that's everybody on the. What are you doing? That's everybody on the screen. Like, what is it? Like, but again, there's somebody trying to gaslight, can't touch me at all, any type of serious conversation. So they got to do that. This is what pan scammers do. So back to Unc. Okay. So Saneter, Ron FBA. He's up Tariq Nasheed ASS. Oh, all he does repeat his things. Oh, just trying to again change, like set the narrative, defame, no substance, don't actually say what I actually says. Then he tried to justify him saying that Africans never sold us, white folks took us. Then he tried to revise that that dialogue we had ain't gonna happen. And yes, when I do go over there, I'm gonna play that entire dialogue with commentary. All right. You'll never have me on video saying something stupid as that. But hey, man. Anyway, let's get to some stuff here. Okay. I got some stuff for you, family. I got some stuff for you. So then Unc sat there and tried to justify he was on there justifying Africans selling us. Like he tried to make light of it, selling us to white people, and he tried to compare it. We heard this comparison before. It's interesting that he says Tariq is our leaders, and most of these tethers and Pan-African scammers do that. When people like myself argue our own arguments, don't argue like Tariq, I have my own talking points. But he used Africans selling us as an analogy to compare that with black people selling drugs in America. Now I heard that before. No, go ahead. What you want? Okay. So yeah, now that analogy was already used on my channel. So that is literally something being passed around his inner circles. That's not a unique thought. Okay. That's not an innovative thought on the fly. Okay. So anyway, let's tackle them. Again, stupid people will say stupid stuff. So it's I mean, you talk about bad faith arguments, not only bad faith, that's also a false equivalence and a bad analogy. For one is internal community harm. Okay. That's the selling drugs. The other is international human trafficking. Family, he's comparing international human trafficking to a couple dudes on a corner selling drugs, nickel and diamond. Okay. Selling drugs didn't change the world. Okay. Selling drugs didn't change the world and create this big bad boogeyman white man to run the world. That's exactly what the human trafficking did. Selling us 12 million to 15 million over to European nations, literally made them the strongest people on earth. And they ain't looked back since. But this is the comparison I'm gonna make. Okay. So selling drugs inside our own neighborhoods. Okay. Yeah, that's destructive. But we know the hidden hand behind that. We talk about the FBI, CIA, implanting, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but check it out. Even with that, that happens within a community and is driven by internal socioeconomic conditions. You hear me? However, selling human beings to foreign empires is international trafficking. Stupid people make stupid, false equivalences and bad analogies. A geopolitical event that was human trafficking and part of a global economic system. The world is at their feet because of that, not because of Pookie and Ray Ray selling drugs. Let's go further. So obviously these are not the same comparisons, not even the same category of action. Drug dealing, again, is internal, localized criminal economy. Slave trading, African slave trading, global interstate commerce, mass deportation, and enslavement. That alone destroys the analogy. Like, how are you comparing them to? But this is what pan scammers do. It never makes sense. Drugs. What are drugs? Drugs are a symptom of oppression. Slave trading was a system of oppression. Black Americans selling drugs, and not just us. You got some other uh black immigrants over here who were selling drugs as well. But that was a result in the 70s and 90s, right? Look at this. What happened before then? Redlining, unemployment, CIA drug dumping, poverty, mass incarceration policies, over policing, and deindustrialization. Those things I listed, family, that set up the stage for drug selling within our neighborhoods to even occur. So drug dealing was a survival reaction to a structure imposed by the U.S. government. African elites, on the other hand, so, and by the way, the people selling drugs in our neighborhood family on the corner are Pookie and Ray Rays. They are not our finest. That's not the Black American elites, but the ones that are responsible for human trafficking, selling us across seas. These were African elites. African elites selling captives was their participation in a global oppression system created by deals between Africans and Europeans. Drug dealers never sold their neighborhoods into internal, hereditary chattel slavery. Okay. So let's talk about what drug dealers didn't do. They didn't strip people of nationality, deport them to another continent, sell them to foreign militaries, condemn their descendants to 400 years of slavery, create racial caste systems, build wealth empires off human bondage. Okay. But those Africans who participated in the slave trade literally helped freed the plantation system, the global sugar cotton economy, the American racial caste system, a hereditary multi-century slave system. Drug dealing and transatlantic trafficking are simply not in the same moral universe. You got to be a buffoon. You got to be a hater of Black Americans to dare make such a stupid analogy on Saneter TV. I'm gonna play it tomorrow because it's still live. You're gonna definitely hear it yourself. Drug dealers did not create a permanent genetic caste. Now watch this. What did transatlantic slavery create? A racial caste system, a permanent underclass, a system of generational wealth theft. It's the reason why we're looking for reparations today. Not selling drugs. It also created a new ethnic group, FBA ADOS, okay, forced through centuries of oppression. Drug dealing, however, did not alter the ethnic, demographic, or national structure of Black Americans. Okay, so the drug trade, it had harm, but the bad was limited. Thousands imprisoned, community violence, addiction crisis. That's it. Okay, limited. Transatlantic slave trade harm, catastrophic and global. 12.5 million of us were shipped. 2 million died during the Middle Passage, 400 years of slavery, colonialism, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, ongoing structural racism, systemic racism. So comparing these is like it's like you could say that like it's really this disingenuous. Comparing them is like comparing a person stealing a car, Newark, New Jersey, to somebody dropping a nuclear bomb. Okay, on a people on a country. Okay, it's insulting. It's defeatism, right? The dude has self-hatred. He's a paid agent. Yeah. So when that agent gave you that script to compare drug dealing, and the majority of us don't even sell drugs. Again, like that's in the poorest neighborhoods in Black City that were being deprived the most. Benign and neglect. Okay. Okay, but these these Pan-African scammers, they use that analogy to deflect accountability on the booty scratchers, the Africans. Okay, it's a common rhetorical trick by buffoons. Okay, the way the trick works, they compare African slave trading to internal Black American crime, minimize African roles. Everyone does bad things, they say. They deflects responsibility away from African participants. I think the dude Alma Wiley on Dr. Maya did this. Now that I remember. Say yeah, yeah. So, Oh my God. Create emotional guilt to silence Black Americans. Silence. But this is logically invalid, you buffoon, because intent does not equal to scale and does not equal to context. You can't compare selling a dime bag, some nickel and diamond, Pookie and Ray Ray, to selling millions of people into foreign bondage by your African kings and chiefs and queens and Zinga. These are your finest, your most intellectual, your most influential, your most powerful doing the crime compared to the Pookies and Ray Rays who are targeted by white supremacy. The stage was set for a drug selling culture. That could never happen like under a system like Black Wall Street, under an economy, a city like Black Wall Street. You gotta be oppressed to the max, stripped, oppressed, redline, everything I said earlier. Okay. And it also ignores who created the slave trade. Okay. So look at this. Black Americans, we didn't create drug markets. The US government policy did, my boy. We were victims. Okay. But Africans and the Europeans were in business together. They were in bed together. Okay, we were victims of that too. So the only commonality that you can point to between us selling drugs and us being trafficked, but trafficked by Africans and Europeans, the only commonality you can find is that we were victims. Okay, by the worst evil people on the planet. The analogy falls apart because one is voluntary, the other is coerced. Africans were pressured. Well, you would say African Americans, but Black Americans oppressed, like I said, the pride, red line, and deindustrialize, everything under the sun to put us in a state of just being desperate, wanting some money. And again, only the most uneducated and the worst of us had took that alternative. Okay. But so I just want to address that. That's a horrible false analogy. And this is why people embarrass themselves, but they want to call me out. Not my level of making a horrible analogy like that. All right. Let's move forward. All right, so let's get back to this. Let's get back to this. I played this yesterday a little bit. Let's get back to it. Because I want to show you the incompetence of people who try to call me out. I gotta expose your incompetence, dude. We are not the same. Okay. We are absolutely not the same. Watch this. Watch this.
I think they're important. I think it's important for the work that the brothers and sisters are going to talk about today. But I want the audience, I want them to have a basic understanding of what it is as they're looking at it. So you see the historical and cultural differences there. I want to make these differences important. So the introduction. This presentation exposes historical and cultural distinctions between the term freedman and African American. Understanding these differences help clarity, identity, heritage, and community context. A lot of times we lose the context of us, and people pseudo.
Now here you go talking about pseudo this, pseudo that, pseudo this. I mean, dude, like you made pseudo just mean everything under the sun. Too loud. Yeah, he just made pseudo mean just everything now. Dude, so when you're wrong with your information, are you pseudo? Like you're using freedmen like it's the category of a lineage of people. Don't worry, I got him. Because I was trying to break this down yesterday, but just in case I lost anybody, allow me to correct that. All right, where the? Okay, I see it. I see.
Rises with certain information in certain terms, Dr. Mayat. Okay, the historical context of freedmen refers to formerly enslaved African Americans emancipated after the Civil War,
Okay, so now look, he's going to read it. Dr. Ma act like she's listening and comprehending, and they're going to make the biggest mistake. I'm going to read it. Historical context of freedom refers to formerly enslaved African Americans. Really, it's called Black. See, that's him putting this stuff here. Refers to formerly enslaved Black Americans emancipated after the Civil War, 1865. So, family, that is a particular group of people within our lineage. That's not everybody. So that's not the name of everybody. That's the name of a particular set of foundational Black Americans who were formerly enslaved. So that's the first thing. These guys were physically enslaved, or they lived, at the very least, they lived during the period when slavery were legal. Because you have some free Blacks too. Okay. So at the very least, freedmen were either physically enslaved or still held by the Dred Scott, ruling. So no rights, no civil rights. Okay. Linked to legal status during. So this is all I'm pointing out, family, is that this is a particular group of Black Americans. This ain't everybody. This ain't nobody today. Okay. It says, example, Freedmen's Bureau, Freedmen's School. You see, the Freedmen's Bureau was for freedmen, recent freedmen of 1865. Freedmen's schools were for those people. There's no freedmen banks today. Freedmen banks were for freedmen, and freedmen's schools were for freedmen, and Freedmen Bureau was for freedmen. So now
1865.
this is crazy work that he's reading it and did not comprehend what he read. Family, the debate just can be, hey, let's pull up your presentation. Why you didn't understand your own presentation? Let's go.
Linked to legal status during the Reconstruction era. To descendants of why that's so important. Examples: Freedmen's Bureau, Freedmen's Schools. Identity and meaning of African American. A broad cultural, ethnic, and racial identity for people of African descent in the U.S.
Okay, you just cooked yourself. A broad cultural, ethnic, and racial identity for people of African descent. Fam, you know what African descent is? That's everybody that does a DNA 23andMe, and it says 1,000,000 years ago, somebody that shares your same DNA ancestry was living in the Congo or Mali or Burkina Faso somewhere. Okay, African descent. This is not a name or title for Black Americans exclusively. The dude just read it and he read right past it. You gotta understand your own presentation, my guy.
Okay, so you can get to the U.S. and you be classified as an African American, no matter where
You tell him if you get one more time, run that back. He's gonna say it.
In the U.S. Okay, so you can get to the U.S. and you be classified as an African American, no matter where you come from, right? Caribbean.
No matter where you come from, you could be classified as an African American. Yeah, and he wonder why we don't like this term. Dude, you just said it, you fool.
Now watch this. Encompasses descendants of enslaved Africans and immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean.
It's right there, family. It's the second colored bullet point. It said that term African American encompasses descendants of enslaved Africans and, so it's not exclusive, it's very inclusive, immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean. This is an all-inclusive term. This is not specific. This is not an ethnonym. This is not a identity, a self-identity for people that has a lineage to U.S. slavery, okay? Jim Crow and the whole nine. So, I mean, he compared this to freedmen. Like, what was the point? So I would just I got questions just off this presentation. Look, his work. Okay, just like Slow Reggie. I got questions about his Black city plan that he didn't want to name an African American city plan. He named the Black city plan. And I got more questions than that. So fam, I just can cook them off what they presented. They both did presentations, and let's go over your presentation, bro.
It emphasizes cultural continuity
Yeah,
But what
Baltimore.
you saying, Doc?
I want to interject really quickly.
Okay, look, she interject. He couldn't even finish the goddamn thing. She interjected to point out what I just highlighted: the contradictions, the goofiness, the things that he just read over and did not comprehend. Listen,
And this is why when you and I were arguing on the telephone,
look, they're arguing on the phone. He argues this, not listening. It's like you see him on Saneter in his own channel, just yelling and fussing, never comprehend. It's just like Revenue and everybody else. Just got counters and or just not even a counter, just want to respond quickly without processing what was just said. Okay. So Revenue and the Revenue-ites out there told you African American is a racial term. Your leader just showed you this in this bullet point.
It's an
Pause.
emphasizes cultural continuity. Go ahead. What you saying, Doc?
I want to interject really quickly, Ankh. And this is why when you and I were arguing on the telephone, so I want the family to know, and maybe the people who are just watching us don't know, that a lot of these conversations that we have publicly are birthed from arguments that Ankh and I have behind closed doors. This is why.
So they argued this during closed doors. She tried to save this fool. She tried to protect him from people like me that's going to expose him. And he ignored her. He says he gave her all these flowers and praises. She a doctor. She's smart. She's wise. She tried to educate him. He said, no, move out the way. Get in the back. And here we are on her show with the presentation where she had to cut him off and slap him up again. Yo, who gets slapped up during their presentation? By the host. That's down with you. This is crazy.
Publicly are birthed from arguments that Ankh and I know, that a lot of these conversations that we have publicly are birthed from arguments that Ankh and I have behind closed doors. This is why when you and I talk, I say, Ankh, you don't think we should throw the term African American away? No, we shouldn't throw it away. I say, Ankh, it's not.
Now you hear her. This is Dr. Mayat, who's saying we should throw it away. She sounds like the people she hates. She sounds like Jason Black, Dennis Sperling, Tariq Nasheed, Black Afro Network, Afro Elite, Unbiased RON, Dewan B, Sincere. She sounds like us.
Specific term African American away. No, we shouldn't throw it away. I say, Ankh, it's not specific.
And this is why I say people are agents. Purposely stupid, purposely misinforming people.
Specific to our lineage here in America. Anybody that comes over here who's a descendant, who is of African descent.
Wait. But Dr. Maya, how could he even argue that? It's on his presentation. So if you told him that, and his presentation says that, then what is his argument? One more time, family. If Dr. Mayat told him that on a private phone conversation, and his presentation says that, what could his argument possibly be?
He claimed to be an African American. This is why I said I do believe that we should have a name that is specifically for us, that other Black immigrants cannot come into the country and hijack. And you were appalled. You were like, no, African American. They know who's who, and you went through all that.
Okay, you heard that? So he argued that with saying, nah, we don't need no specific name for our unique experience. Like the entire, so that's his argument, family. He's arguing we don't need a specific ethnonym, right? A label, an identity. He said, nah, our identity should be all inclusive, but everybody else who's included to ours, they have their own specific ethnonym that's all exclusive. So he's leaving our doors and windows open for every robber imaginable from the Caribbean and Africa. Like, hey man, like just signs like, hey man, come rob this house. All type of B&Es gonna happen in our home. He's leaving all the doors open, unlocked, windows open, everything, every robber from the continent and the islands can just come over and just take our stuff. Actually live there. They become squatters. Matter of fact, That might be the new term. They're mad at tethers. Okay, squatters. Okay, that they are in our house as squatters. You know, they damn near sovereign citizens. You dig? You ain't got no jurisdiction. Yeah, so these squatters, yeah, let's call them squatters. You mad at tethers? Okay, so these squatters want to squat in our house and claim our house for themselves. That's what Unc is the leader of squatters.
In your slide, these two bullets talk about exactly what I was arguing on the telephone that day.
And exactly what
I know I'm sharp as a harp, though.
and exactly what I'm emphasizing. So she said, and what I said is like, your own presentation agrees with our arguments against you. And your argument is it doesn't matter because the American government knows who is who. But he's sharp as a family. Listen, you can't talk to stupidity, man. You just can't. You just cannot talk. The dude got a blockhead. She said on a private conversation, something as simple as that. Even I talk to revenue, he gets it. I'm sure Dex would get it. This guy, the pro scientific literature, some of the hardest paperwork to read, right? Science literature is some of the hardest stuff to read. But he can figure that stuff out, but can't read it to something like this that's so simple. Yeah, we don't believe you, guy. My guy, we don't believe you.
Finish.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
It encompasses descendants of enslaved Africans and immigrants from Africa.
All right, so he's gonna keep reading. Just for what, man? Like he thinks the words are gonna change.
African American history, culture, and community to descendants of formerly enslaved Africans in the U.S.
Okay, so he's back reading this. He's back reading what Freeman is. He's reading you now, family. I'm telling you, even Dr. Mott, bear me witness. He doesn't comprehend what he's reading. And if you do, click the link. I want you to be as calm as you were on Saneter, or I got to get you up out of here. I know you're listening because you know this just sounds stupid, man. You put the link out there, cultural squatters. You put the link out there for to justify, because I don't believe he understood, and I don't believe he still understands his own presentation. Okay? But he must have took his medicine because he was pretty in good behavior on Saneter. So that link is for Uncle. Anybody from his channel, click that link right there. The link is for the ops. I'm time limited tonight. Like yesterday, got off early, 10 o'clock, we're off again.
Historically linked to the legal status, post-emancipation, linked to post-Civil War reconstructed context, African Americans. It's a broad identity for all people of African.
Okay, so we just read that. I mean, yeah, he is saying key differences like anybody in this world were confused on African American being a racial term and freedmen being people who were freed or emancipated from slavery. So, okay, so I think that's why they use the word emancipated, because you can't say free from slavery because it was for everybody, because it was free blacks already free. But I think emancipated. All right, let's get it.
Descent in the U.S., primarily a cultural ethnic identity, spans historical, contemporary experiences. Now, this chart shows the key differences, right? Freedmen, specific to descendants of enslaved Africans in the U.S., African American is a broad identity for all people of African descent in the U.S.
All right, my screen froze. My screen some slow Reggie's type stuff. All right, slow on type stuff. Let's get back. Get back. They got screen freezes. Okay, it's finished. All right. Thanks for the support. Cash Out Department getting this. You dig? Now he's gonna read. I mean, family. So he read it to start off with. Then he went to his bullet points. Then he went back to this, and now he's reading it again. Family, how many times is he gonna read the key differences from freedmen to African American. This is for because he's not understanding. So he is on the fly. It's starting to come to him, I guess, because he keep reading the same thing over and over and over. Right? Okay. Okay, exactly. So emancipate thought what I thought it was, right? Because I'm like, well, we can't say we were freed because everybody wasn't in bondage. So that's why the legal term emancipates their family, because everybody was not free in physical bondage, but everybody were held off on legally. So it was emancipation is often a legal or political step. All right. So legally we were subjected by a law that could never grant us rights and citizenship and other things that white people were privy to. Right. So everybody wasn't freed. People were freed. And everybody was emancipated.
That's
Now,
what I was trying to tell you.
of course, linked to post-emancipation
Wait, he's still doing this?
and my point was that
okay, so now this is the point. So he got random stuff up there. He said, my point was that family, some of us pay attention to body language. He's not comfortable after pulling that bullet point up there, those bullet points, that presentation. Look at his body. Like, he's not comfortable right now. Because people looking like, what was that about? Freedmen versus African American. Like, they got nothing to do. One is a term for many different people that come to this country. Okay.
Did you change your
people that
position?
enslaved us- no, I didn't. I'm still the same. No, of course not. I'm still there.
I'm
Right.
rolling with Freedman. I'm rolling with Freedman.
No, I'm not rolling with I'm rolling with freedmen in specific cases, right? If need be.
That's what I said. I said
No,
that on the phone. Go ahead.
My point is, those who have enslaved us know who the hell they're gonna give their money to when it's time. See, when you start to write that check, if they write that check, they're not gonna allow no matter what you name yourself, they're gonna allow the people that came into the country in the 1900s, after slavery and all that, and get that check. They're not gonna do that, not even a little bit. So my point was that the African Americans actually encompasses all that. Now, if you want to get specific with it, right? You want to say, well, freedmen too, that's fine. So then we got to have a conversation around that, and you got to educate people, because the question will be this: why now? Why all of a sudden is the freedman conversation? Is there? Is it hiding? No, it's in plain sight, right? So those who understand who they must pay, they understand all of that. They get the gist of it. They know what it is before they cash out their money, just like insurance companies, right? If you try to con an insurance company, they're gonna come in with your claim. They're gonna look at your claim. They're not gonna let you flim-flam. They're not gonna let immigrants that was not enslaved in Americans come and suck up the daggone funding. I think your point was, well, we need to make that distinction, right? Legally, right? So that won't happen. I never actually disagree with that. What I'm actually against is that the misuse of the term freedmen and pseudorizing us as African Americans and playing this game. We need real.
Hey, family, I have no idea what he's talking about. My yacht don't know what he's talking about, but they both misunderstand freedmen, like I said before. So let me show you what freedman is. He read it. They both missed it. Okay, look, a black person in 2025 cannot personally claim the status of being a freedman, as that term specifically applies to individuals who were emancipated during and immediately following the American Civil War, 1861, 1865. They can, however, identify as a descendant of those freedmen. So I broke this down yesterday. I want you guys to see it today, because some people were confused in the chat. You cannot be a freedman, but you are descendants of freedmen. Okay, freedmen had the Freedmen Bureau, Freedmen Bank, Freedmen Schools. Okay, and they were emancipated from slavery. We were all born in as American citizens. So this thing happened to us, but we're descendants of them. So, but both of them were acting like it's African American or freedmen. No, you're neither. One term is outdated and the other term is all inclusive. So both of them were confused and know what the hell he was talking about. All right. So now let's go here. So we went to one guy who couldn't make any sense of nothing. Now we go to another guy who can't make sense of nothing. Listen to this guy.
East. They're our ancestors. They're all dead. Okay.
No, he's not correct. Let me get it. 904. Click that link. Click the link, 904. I don't even think you understood the conversation that they were having. What I just broke down. He's not correct. Okay. You don't even know. Yeah, he just said that the point he was making that was for reparations. If African American is used, how can recent African immigrants claim reparations for U.S. slavery, and how can recent Caribbean immigrants claim reparations for U.S. Slavery? 904. So he was wrong. You can't use that terminology. Okay, reparations are not. Click the link, man. Just click the link. All right, so now let's get to another guy who's totally. I'm trying to be nice tonight, and let's just say incorrect. Watch this.
You are descendants of Black Americans, but one thing we know clearly is beginning 1782.
We got to play this guy because I want you to see how these guys are smart amongst a bunch of fools. Okay, this doesn't work with real researchers and people who study from books outside of Pan-Africanism, right? All they do is read each other's books that's self-published by other Pan-Africans. We read books that's non-Pan-African, all right? So we're not stuck in a bubble. So he says 1782?
To call ourselves African Americans. But we did something differently also. In the 1700s, we created the African.
Okay, so when he's saying we. Okay, now he's being disingenuous. This is not a collective. This wasn't the majority. These are small, tiny individuals doing these things. This is not the populace, but he's saying we as though this was a collective effort. Okay, so this is what he tried on my channel. Cooked them.
Union Society, the Free African Society, Philadelphia, the African Lodge, which became the Prince Hall, the Boston African Society, and then in the early 1800s, it continued to the African Benevolent Society in Newport, Rhode Island, the African Humane Society, the African Female Benevolent Society, right? So the problem is the African there were other African benevolent societies in the 1800s. And so our ancestors named their
all right, unmute there, my friend. Who's that? Dezali? Unmute there.
Yo, what's happening? What's happening, bro?
Yes, sir. What's G?
Everything G. Everything is gravy, my man.
All right, let me hear you out.
Yeah. So yeah, I just found out that you had a channel. I just saw you in the chat over there on Saneter, and you gave me the page. Said I'll come over and see what you're over here talking about, my man.
Yes, sir. So you agree. So okay, you heard the part where Dr. Mayant says she tried to correct on a private conversation about African American, like what it means and what it doesn't mean. You heard that part, right?
No.
Okay, now then I'm gonna skip past that. Okay, so do you have any questions or statements about people call themselves FBA or something like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it like this. I would be categorized as FBA, ADOS, African American, all of that. I accept all of it. It doesn't really mean anything.
Right. Well, I do too. I call myself all of them, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? And from what I'm gathering from you, from listening to you, you are what I would consider one of the more reasonable FBA. You know what I'm saying? And not to speak for my brother Ankh, but I think that he has the same issue that I have with FBA when it comes down to adding the pseudo aspect to it. To
Give an
the
example.
just to not jump through the bushes, the FBA who they don't have any African genetics.
Okay, so that
And
part right there.
mhm,
Now that part right there is where Unc is very disingenuous because
uh-huh,
when I say to Unc, I say Unc, go talk to those people, right? You can't
uh-huh.
come to my channel and talk about those people or talk about me like I accept that. I'm somebody who said that I came here via slave ship. So, but what he does is he brings that argument to me. I'm like, yo, dude, there's people out there that will take that. That's not an argument over here from me.
Mm,
So, because for me, so then I asked Unc this. I asked Chef was over here too, just recently. I said, Chef, is the requirements to be FBA your belief? Like your personal beliefs make you FBA, or is there something physically that had to happen? And the physical thing that had to happen is US. It starts with U.S. chattel slavery. So whether you thought you were here the whole time, whether you believe you only came on slave ships or felt like both happened and you had mixed, my question for all of them is: were you a part of U.S. chattel slavery? If their answer is no, none of them guys are FBA
okay,
because
all right, so
yeah,
we are using the barometer of sharing a legacy of slavery in
yeah,
this
that's
country,
number
right?
one.
All right, all right,
That's
all
number
right.
one.
Number one. All right, that's easy. All right. Um, and I can definitely agree with you there that that's requirement number one. Now, I feel kind of shaky when you go into whether you feel as though your people came over on ships or you feel as though your people were
Because
already here.
that's an origin story, right? So origin story is not a requirement of becoming FBA. Because let me ask you, like I asked Chef, if a person believes they was always here,
Hmm.
don't you disagree?
Yes.
Don't you believe they probably came via slave ships?
Yes.
And as a result, then they're FBA, right?
Oh yeah. I would not be.
Right.
Yeah, I would
Okay, hold on.
definitely
So
not
you can see
deny
where
them
I'm
being
at.
here. Uh-huh.
All right. So my channel is about FBAs, right?
Hmm.
It's about galvanizing FBAs, not whether you Christian, Muslim, believe in God, don't believe in God. We're not uniting on personal beliefs. We're uniting on one commonality, and that is you got to be FBA. And then and also, of course, people who support it. That's not FBA, but we got some folks from the Caribbean here supporting. So and we got people from the Hispanic ethnicity here supporting too. So they can support. But what I'm saying is, as far as the in America, black Americans from U.S. chattel slavery, people say, "Hey, we got to unite," and nobody has done it. People try religion, all type of stuff, never happened. Now, for the first time, we're actually galvanized. We're putting down our differences for the first time. First, putting down flags, religions, and we're galvanizing a basic commonality, which is we're all U.S. Uh, uh, descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. And you would think we'll get an applause, like, wow, yo, we finally was able to come to some type of agreement that we could unite around something and then build from there. But we're getting pushback, like, no, hell no. And again, we're not uniting on we were already here in America. Okay, we're not uniting on an origin story. We are uniting on what happened to you while you were here.
Uh-huh.
And Brother
Okay.
Ron, would you say you'd have to be from the Americas base day one in slavery, when slavery first started up until now, to qualify as a foundational Black American?
I wouldn't say day one because the ethnogenesis was a continuation from a lot of different experiences, and people experience it differently. You know, because even some people who were here, because you believe people were here already, right? When we got here.
Yeah, Indians and
Okay.
such, as we know.
Right. And then did some of them get thrown in, we classified as Negro and get thrown in with us and had babies
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us?
that happened. That
Right,
happened.
right. So they're part of the ethnogenesis.
But they would have
So
to be able to trace that, wouldn't you say? I mean, like, this is my thing, like, how far back? Because you got some Jamaicans, most African Americans came from plantations in the American Caribbean. So
They would be considered FBA as well. Yeah, they're this. Yep, because they part of ethnogenesis. They never left. They've been here for 200, 300 some odd years. Yeah, they're FBA.
Let me ask you this: so
Yeah.
are the people who we see as Native American, are they included in FBA? Because
So
you
again,
know,
like they would have to serve U.S. chattel slavery, one way or another, and because you had two freedmen, which Unc wouldn't know, you had people who were enslaved by the five native tribes, and you had us who were enslaved by European, America,
mhm.
but we both were freed 1865. So you got two different freedmen. We're freedmen, they're freedmen. So if those people you're talking about can prove that they were enslaved by the five indigenous tribes, yeah, the FBI.
Wow. Now that's a bit of a darn monkey wrench. I bet there's some people who aren't gonna like it, that some of those people who they see as they put it air quote mongoloid Asians, they can
No,
say,
not them. You don't mean them, do you, Ron?
yeah, uh-huh.
Ron,
Yeah.
you don't mean them. You mean the Africans that were in those tribes as slaves sometimes or married in, but you mean the blacks that was in the tribes, not the mongoloid aspect of them. Am I wrong?
Yeah, so let me ask you this: where, because I'm not too keen on that history. So
Oh,
let me ask you this: were the Mongoloid enslaved by the five tribes?
well, no. See, that's who the
They
five tribes were. The mongoloid tribes. We
Okay,
talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of them
yeah. So
were,
my only
but they
yeah,
also suffered slavery too now.
yep,
So
exactly.
so
First,
are they FBA?
see, they wouldn't be.
They
Yeah,
suffered slavery.
that's a good one. That's a good one, Dizali.
look, look,
Yeah.
look. All they got, like, this what folks got to do. Folks got to first, and also don't forget. Now I got to add this: there's parts of this. It ain't just that by itself, because Drake is eliminated. That folks bring up Drake. So not only did you, and you got Liberians who are not FBA, and they actually were in slavery. So there's like a three-part thing to this. So U.S. isn't the end all be all, but slavery, U.S. slavery is the end all be all, but it has to be there, right? To even start the conversation. And then secondly, you have to have gone through the continuity that happened afterwards. Jim Crow, Black Reconstruction. You got to be American citizen. So all that stuff follows afterwards. Redlining, like these got to be your experiences, and you have to have stayed here. That's why a lot of those West Indians would be considered FBA. They never left.
Oh,
And they
you
experienced.
said you had to have state. Okay, so let me clarify and get a clarification of what you're saying. So people that was on the Underground Railroad, like Drake and them probably ancestors who left from my hometown of Michigan and went over to Canada to freedom, they wouldn't be qualified because they left.
Drake says it himself. He's Canadian.
I get you what you're saying about Drake.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
he's
people
out.
like that prototype
Yeah,
that
they're
came
out.
through us with Harriet Tubman on the underground and finally got freedom in Canada. Would them particular ones who claim that be qualified?
You're not out because again, it's the whole continuity. You have to experience everything, like from U.S. chattel slavery all the way down to where we're at now.
Okay.
And you got to be American citizen. So like, there's like three things in there. And U.S. chattel slavery starts a conversation. Then we get more data from you. And are you currently a U.S. citizen? Once they say no, what happened? Oh, I'm Drake. All right, well, see you.
Yeah,
I went to Liberia.
I get you. Dizali, though, point. I don't know if I'm getting your point right, Dizali. Can you clarify that? Because if you're saying what I'm thinking, I'm thinking when all of us black people, quote unquote, black Americans, whether you were enslaved by those Mongoloid tribes, because we know some of the Indians enslaved black people, and some of us who were to the white man's slavery in the Americas, the African Americans, all of them is a combined people. We got off the same boat. Some went into slavery with the Mongoloids, some came into slavery with the white man. Those would be the same. But I don't think, brother, because Ron said he's not too familiar in that subject, but I don't think you're saying the Indians like the Cherokees, the whole, they get some of they're not called African, they got their own name.
Right. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like those people, based off that, I can't see them being considered FBA.
Yes, but the slaves there could be the ones that got on the boat with me and you. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
That's what Dizali. Is that what you were saying? I'm trying to make.
If you're off that boat, you are definitely FBA as long as you went through everything. So even those people we're talking about, got to experience it all.
So Dizali, was that what you were saying? The whole black people, or were you saying the Mongoloids as well?
No, I was also added in the Mongoloid people.
Oh no, they couldn't be. They got their own.
Because like there's a segment of FBA that says that they didn't get off the boats, right? They were already here, just
Yeah, I
like
know
the
about that. You're right.
Mongoloids.
Yeah, you're
Just
right.
like the Mongoloids were already here, and they had to suffer the same things that we had to suffer, and we intermingled with them, or the black people who were already here intermingled with them. You know, that's why many of the Indians are or were called black, because they had mixed with black people.
Seminole. Mhm.
Yep, Seminole. You know, just like there's, you know, many black people who are running around. Like, we could probably look in the chat. There's probably a few people in the chat who will say that they are Blackfoot or Cherokee, et cetera,
Yeah,
et
you're
cetera.
right. That
And
grandmama's
they are,
stories.
yeah, and they are saying that they are also FBA. So
So how do
if
we do that, Jazali or Brother Ron? How do we break that apart and differentiate those who know our African roots, FBAA, Black
Yeah.
Foundational Black
So
African American, and we know that we have family that's deep in the continent, yet
all
that
right.
family in the continent, us American blacks have mixed in so much that we don't know if we were Yoruba or Ashanti or anything, but we
Yeah,
do
but
know we
that wouldn't even
potentially are
matter.
one group.
Yeah, that because the ethnogenesis, the Europe, all that wouldn't even matter. A
Yeah.
lot of people can't even, you know, substantiate that. You know, they can't redo that. But let me go back to the FBAA thing. There that wouldn't qualify. Just had the bullet point up there and the
You took
definition,
that
which
from
are
me,
all
by the way. Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, now, but I've always been saying this. I've been cooking everybody. African American has been used as a racial term. Okay, no more. So that means it's all inclusive that anybody comes to this country with African descent. It's not exclusive. It's not an ethnonym. It's not an identity of a specific people. Okay, so that's why it wouldn't make any sense to say foundational Black African American, and you're trying to delineate. Like, that's a contradiction. Delineate means you're being more specific. You're saying I'm this, everybody else is what they are.
But
So,
no, I
like,
can't. Well, I'll choose to just give you a little pushback on that on this
yeah.
frame, since that was my basis that he used. The reason I say foundational Black African American, and it can be delineated and be a specific group, we have record. It's not like the Alexander Library of Egypt who burnt all the records out, or the Maya Codex they burnt. And we got record. We got dialogue
Nah,
that
no,
we all
look,
accept.
okay, so let me start the conversation here. Okay, the fact you're calling yourself African American is already confusing and is non-delineating, because there's other people come here, just got here yesterday, and they're able to say they're just that. So that's a not. So what we're talking about is that we're trying to establish a delineating term where there's no
Okay.
confusion. I ain't got to explain. It's right there by the name itself.
I got you. It's not saying that it's wrong, but you're saying you want a quicker antidote, like, almost, so to say, because
Just like when somebody say they're Haitian, nobody got to explain afterwards. You already know
exactly.
who these
But if you
people
get a
are,
French
right?
man, if you get a French white man, and he comes and says he's a French American, what differentiates him from the French American that basically are indigenous, not indigenous, you know what I mean, but foundational, meaning the ones that were here. What you can't
Well,
tell.
no. Once you say here French American, wait, you talking about French American?
I'm talking about a
from
French
who?
American at the same time me and you was in slavery. His family been here the same time. Wasn't here before that. We weren't here before that. And I'm not talking about the one African that comes over and calls himself African American.
Wait,
Where you
when
say
we
we
say
can't.
French American, are you talking about a Haitian or
No,
a white man?
no. I'm talking about a pure white people from
Yeah.
white Europe. They call themselves European Americans to this day. Anywhere you go, they're European Americans. So that's not a contradiction. You're saying African Americans are contradiction.
No. Hold on. Yeah, no, it is. Because for French people from what country?
Huh?
French people are from what country?
France.
Right. See how we know who they are and exactly where they're from?
Right.
When you say African American, well,
we're talking about the continent, Europe.
No, you're talking about the continent.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Because there's 54 countries and they all practice different cultures. They look different. Yeah. They're different in a lot of ways.
So you say you never heard the term European American?
Brother, I don't know one white person. I'm 47. I don't know one white American.
I'm 55, and I do.
Okay, that's cool. That's not a popular term. We can just Google that right now to solve that.
We're not worried about. We're talking about facts over feelings.
All right. Wait. There's no feelings here. I'm saying that.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a fact that they call themselves European. Your feeling, maybe.
Who's that?
It's not a lot. So what? It can be one, and they won't be in the court of law wrong.
That's called anecdotal. Yeah, but you're saying
Designing.
total
Would
law.
I be wrong what I'm saying,
But no,
Designing?
you can't just keep doing it. You're talking, you're cutting over,
No,
and
I'm just
I'm
saying because
saying
you got an opinion, I got an opinion, but Designing
right.
has one as well.
Okay, but cool, but you can't. All right, dude, you're trying to control the conversation. You're going somewhere else. That's weird. You're saying
I won't
because
try
you
to
know,
control it. I won't
yeah,
try to
you said
control it.
you said one person in court, but there's a lot of more science people too that call themselves chief this and
Yeah.
Okay, that means nothing. They represent themselves as anecdotal, right? We're talking about classifications that represents the entire people. You just said French American. I like that term because that pointed to a country full of people who call themselves the same thing. You said that, and I said, "What country they from?" You said France. I said, "Thank you." Then I said, "African American. What country they from?" And you got quiet. There's no country. You see,
That's a continent. We know that.
Right. But people call themselves after country, tribes, and sometimes language.
And you say never continent. That's your opinion.
Okay. So, brother, watch this. You're African, right?
African American from the continent of various different countries. I don't know
Got it.
because of slavery. Which country?
Okay, there you go. It says confusion.
It's
For
not
me,
confusion. It's black is not a culture. It's a description.
Oh no. So now I got to teach you something. I'm glad you said that. Do you know what an ethnonym is, my good friend?
Help me.
Okay, no. That's a question. Do you know what an ethnonym? Because you're at the right place now.
You sarcastically said my good
No.
friend.
No. I'm gonna ask you very nice and like a brother. Brother, do you know what ethnonym is?
No, inform me.
Do you know what exonym and endonym is? Okay, well, do you know what it is first?
No, I'm telling you to inform me. I don't.
Okay, but now you said inform you, but we could agree. Okay, so now black is an adjective, correct?
Okay.
That's either true or false.
I'm saying okay, yeah.
Okay, so now adjective, do you capitalize them or no?
Generally no.
Right, no, you don't. Now proper nouns.
Nouns you only
no, you don't. No. Not all nouns. Cat doesn't deserve a capitalization. Cat, okay. That's a noun. Okay, now watch this. Proper nouns, are they capitalized?
Proper nouns, yes.
Okay, cool. So now this is the next question. When we use black in America, do we use it as a proper noun, ethnonym, or an adjective like everybody else?
I would say like a proper noun.
Right. So we call ourselves
something for
okay. Hold on. No. Stop. So I can finish explaining to you. So you can be informed. You said inform you, so get informed now. Right. Okay. We are the only people on earth that use black as a proper noun ethnonym. Okay. Where it's capitalized. Everybody else uses it as a descriptive term, like you just said. That's not why we call ourselves black. I'm light as hell, bro. I'm light skinned. I'm not black because I'm black. I'm dark skinned. Everybody else call themselves black because they looked at black and they got called black by somebody else, by the way. So that's called an exonym. So somebody else called them black and they said, okay, all right, we're black. Like the Sudanese people. And they called them black because they were dark. We don't call ourselves black because we're dark. That's why we're the only, hey, stop. Okay, so we're the only people to name ourselves a color and make it a proper noun. Okay, that's called an endonym. Now go Google that. Like you said, you've been informed, so write that down. Anything else?
Yeah, I just chat GPT.
Yeah.
Do white people call themselves European American? It says largely.
So you're not gonna respond nothing I said? Like, did it make sense?
Google that. You said, am I gonna Google what you said?
Okay, so wait. You said informed you. Were you informed?
Yeah, I was. I appreciate
it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So now we don't call ourselves black for the same reason why everybody else did. And black is our only ethnonym. Everybody else is named after a country or tribe. So black ain't even their name. They're named after, and they got a flag to that name. They got colors. So now when we say we're black Americans, you could throw the FBA, you could leave it at black Americans. That still is exclusive to anybody else because there is no black people with a capital B before us. Until 40, 50 years later, 60 years later, now people are saying they're black for the first time, who never said black with a capital B, who recently rejected that some years ago. So no, so black America is more of a fitting term. It excludes other people as dark or melanated. They use it as descriptive. That's why I said you called in the right place. Now, moving from there. So African American is clearly a racial term. So when you say you're African American, that don't mean you're Black American exclusively. It don't mean you're from the Caribbean or from the continent. It means you could be from either three.
Okay, white people are European Americans, if you're speaking factually about ancestry, then yes, most white Americans have European ancestry. So in a
Yeah, of
sense, they
course.
are European Americans.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Well, a lot of us will admit that we have. Well, some of us will admit that we got African ancestry too. I mean, yeah. So you're
Okay,
saying
that was
something
my
I agree
question
with.
to you at that point. Now, what you said that some of us would admit, are we the
Right.
leaders or the peons that admit it? Like, does the over one overshadow that on a political basis? We were sitting in the court of law where we say these guys are just talking this other stuff. We are Africans. We know we're African American.
Well, to answer that, I can't. Well, if somebody say they're not African descent,
Just
who
because
am
they
I to
say,
say?
can you prove them not?
Can you prove that they are?
Yeah, I take a DNA test, what they'll cry about.
Yeah, but do you have it today? Okay, so right now, if somebody call in and say I'm not African descent at all, how can you prove that they
I
are?
would take them and say, "Come with me, good brother." I would
On the
take the
phone?
swab. No, over the phone. A white man could be on the phone. I don't know. He can
No,
show me
no,
a picture.
right, right. So that's my point. So you got to take them by face value, like whatever they say. It's like, yeah. So hold on. So with us, like in the chat, you or anybody else call in, you can say you're FBA or you're not. I gotta take you at your word until you contradict it or raise concern. But that's it. So anybody who say they're not African descent, I can't say yes you are. That's up to them to prove that when the day comes. Because right now, bro, we're only 7, 8 years in. You talk about European. I studied the history of U.S. immigration. It took Italian Americans 60 years to become Americans, right, or white. It took Jewish people 100 years to become American, and Native Americans is still trying to be recognized as equal to Americans. So
Hey,
for us,
Ron,
we're
question to you.
well, hold on. Let me
because
finish this last. Let me finish this last thought. What I'm saying is that we're 7, 8 years in, and everybody wants to have all the hardcore data at once. That's not how it works. It starts with delineation, it goes to disaggregation, then it goes to explicit representation. That can take 60 years like the Italians, 100 years like the Judeo Americans, or 400 years like the Native Americans. So
what about the Celtics? Is my question to you.
But there's steps. Bro, my point is this. I can't tell you about the Celtics. I'm not too.
And I'm not arguing with you. I'm talking about what I'm talking about is.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on the Celtics. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not too keen.
I made a mistake. What is the people in the people from like Boston? What are they more like?
Oh, you just on the Boston Tea Party?
The Irish people.
Okay, the Irish. Okay,
are they
so
considered? This is not an argument or my.
No, I got you, bro. I studied the history of U.S. immigration. So Irish people, when they came over here during the 1880s, a lot of them. No, it took them a while. They became white. Yeah, they became white later. Americans were
even white now. I'm sorry, but go ahead. I didn't.
No. They became white. Well, obviously, if they came recently, they would be Irish. I'm talking about. That's why I gave you 1880. I studied the history of U.S. immigration. So, but America was only accepting Anglos as American at that time. You had to be Anglo. If you were from Eastern or Southern Europe, they looked at you as trash or mixture, right? A non-Anglo is how they looked at them. That's why it took a lot of them so long to be considered white.
Yeah, without papers or what they used to call Italians.
Yeah. That's a fact. And look, they had I think doggo, something like that was another term that's actually worse than that.
Damn, I know LL made that song.
Doggo, I think it was.
Do the wop was a cold black innuendo, like do the wop, make it go LLL and do the wop.
I just wanted to say something, and I really want the chat to understand and comprehend this. And I understand that some people are just being facetious or whatever, but let's just hypothetically say that people admit that they have African genetics. That doesn't make you Pan-African. I can say that the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. Does it mean that I'm a fan of the Eagles, or am I just reciting history? Admitting you have African genetics, so what? I have African genetics.
That don't make you a Pan-African.
Just like white people have European genetics. It's just stating what most of us see as a fact. Claiming that you've always been here doesn't give you any more of a claim than the people that came over on a boat. This is just being historically accurate. So I don't understand the unnecessary step that many people take, and I think that it muddies up the image of FBA, and it has many
No,
people
no,
thinking that
I,
FBA pseudos
no, no,
full
no,
of
no. I don't
pseudos,
believe that. Now, I was for a second I was rolling with you until you said that. See, and this is why I don't have those conversations about where your origin story, because it doesn't, for us, for me, it doesn't matter. Are you FBA or you're not? Are you riding or you're not? And we go from there, because I know that a lot of people out there, the Shawns, the Unks out there, they've been debating this Abel thing for a gazillion years. Okay, so now a lot of Abels, because again, we're only the thought of FBA Adolf's 7, 8 years old. So now, when that thought came into existence, people who already had a previous position, Moorish, this and that, when they read the requirements be FBA, they said, "Hey, okay, I'm that." So now their beef they were having, the people who were beefing them, they start to include everybody that's with that same lineage with them. So they made us all food. Like basically, y'all all can get it. So they come over here trying to have me debate a position that I always been here that I never accepted for myself. Okay, I'm like, hey, well, go debate that person. And when they do call in, they normally run. Like Chef wanted something, Lex called in. We have Brother Sanchez over here, and like people ain't want to call in for whatever reason. So when they do appear, people like haul ass. Yeah, let go. Let go.
Okay,
Yeah, so
I
yeah,
understand your. I understand
so for me, so
your
I want to say
stance.
this. So for me, so I understand that people want to try to break up, you could say those who believe they always been here, break up that thought, and then they also want to sometimes directly break up what FBA's got going on. So they feel like since they're included, that somehow we are believing everything they believe in. Also, it's like no, it's just a lineage, and yes, but using lineage the right way, slow Reggie. So I want him to click that link on lineage and delineation. So anybody who repeats, I'm gonna up the call in to justify his argument on delineation and lineage. Anybody from his panel could do that too, and you're gonna learn about that as well. Here,
Okay,
but yes, that's the
I don't
thing. So I
have
want
any
to say this.
problem. Mhm.
So I want to say this. So that's why I say from now on, when people call, it's not just for you guys, because I see what they were doing. So it's like, all right, when people call in, I don't have a problem with them asking about FBA, right? But when they ask about people who say they were already here, or they say the Earth is flat, like that's not what we do over here. That's for them. Like Brother Sanchez, he wants all the smoke with that one. I don't believe the Earth is flat. So it's like ask about, not you. I'm saying anybody, like just going forward after this conversation. It's like ask about FBA's got going on. You can speak about Tariq, trademark, all that stuff concerning FBA, and also what I say. Like and what I say, but I can't really speak on what Brother Sanchez stands on or George Macon or somebody else.
Okay, I get you, and like I said, you sound like a very reasonable brother. I ain't heard I don't know what you and Dr. Maad and have going on. I haven't heard y'all conversation. I just saw you over on Saw
But you can
channel.
hear it.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, so
I
now
don't have.
let me tell you
But
Unc problem. Unc said what exactly he said on Saneter. Oh, this guy up Tariq, now she asked. I'm like, but see, he just saying that. It's like, no, Tariq has a way he argues. Tariq also believes in certain things that I don't. Okay, we because we're individuals. Individuals going to believe something, and somebody going to say, "Nah, I don't believe in that." Like that's our right. But to hold me to other people in beliefs is like disingenuous, and like you're defaming me at that point. But he's trying to set the narrative. He knows I am going to call in on Saneter. Like Napa called me the other day. You dig? So on Facebook. So I already know they're setting the stage for me to go in there and cook all of them. So what they're trying to do is defame me before I get there. Okay, so now what Unc said was this. This is what Unc said. Unc called in and he said something about somebody kidnapped us from Africa. Now I know that a lot of Pan-Africans, they use the word took, kidnapped, stolen, right? To explain how did we get to America. But by doing that, they are low-key implying that white people did those three actions. So I said this to Unc. I said, that's all recorded. I just played it to Chef the other day. So just ask Chef. And he's going to say Unbiased is 100% correct. Unc said it. So I said, who kidnapped us? He said, the Dutch, the Portuguese. So I said, you do know largely it was Africans doing the slave raids and doing the kidnapping and capturing. Nah, you made that up. So I said, you think it's white folks coming in there? I said, yo, they died off through interior resistance. Africans were whooping their ass. That's a fact. And I said, and also the diseases. I said, bro, they were very unsuccessful. Nah, nah. So I pulled up a Wikipedia article, which he said on Saneter, and I read it. It said exactly what I said. He even read it after me, and it said exactly what I said. Then he tried to change the narrative, switch the goalpost, and I didn't let him. And he hung up. And I've been using that video against his ass ever since. So a pseudo guy, pseudo this, so that, believed that Africans were played little roles in slave raids and slave trades. King Pseudo, calling everybody pseudo, said some pseudo shit. And Chef said, yeah, because they was arguing, him and Corey's arguing with Unc for like 3 months straight on that. So Unc got a history. So they ain't just my video. Chef said Unc got a 3-month history denying Africans' role in the slave trade. And he just recently compared selling drugs, Pookie and Ray Ray. That's dealing with redlining, all type of shit, put them in that situation to sell. And these are the low of us, selling drugs to each other, to African elites, kings, and chiefs who sold us. That was one of the largest human trafficking things ever. 12 to 15 million people. He compared Pookie and Ray Ray selling drugs, who are a minority, by the way. We all don't sell drugs, small minority. And they were victims. They victimized by the CIA, they playing drugs, whatever. They created the situation, deindustrialization, a lot of jobs, discrimination, no loans. So they created the environment for poor people to be desperate, then put the drugs out there. He compared that to chief elites grabbing up African, us, and selling us to white people, creating the big white boogeyman we see today. And he made that analogy on Saneter. So to me, that just called self-hate when it comes to Black Americans. And it is called you just romanticizing Africa. Africa is your religion at that point.
Who did that, Ron?
That's Unc on Saneter TV today. And I'm gonna replay that tomorrow because you can't really, I don't be flagged. So I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I think he'll let me get it.
I've used that analogy similarly. Whereas where many of us feel a certain way about Black people selling Black people for money and goods, and we say how it was wrong and how it devastated the communities over there. I think that it is comparable to a few of us Black guys over here. We say, look, we have to get this here money. We're gonna destroy families. We're gonna shoot up the block.
That's eternal. Yeah, but again, that first of all, that doesn't create. So now watch this. Those actions, so now it gotta be a ripple effect. The ripple effect gotta be the same. So when you like steal out of a candy store, you can't compare that person robbing a bank, because the ripple effect, the consequences got to mirror too. So now let's do the drug dealer and the African slave trade. One action locked up a few thousand. Got a crack crisis, right? That's dying down now, and people got reformed, and people doing better. People off drugs, some relatives. The other action caused a lopsidedness when it comes to domination in this world. White people been ruling the world ever since, and Africa been a shithole ever since that trade. Either one has never been the same. One became super powerful, and the other one became super weak, and that imbalance been the same. And look what the trade did. It caused the diaspora. It caused the whole Caribbean. It caused Haiti. It caused America. It caused. Then they came back to Africa and colonized them. So that action destroyed the world, basically.
Yeah,
and that's why that's a false equivalence. I'm done.
Only question to that, Ron, I would ask is, how about, I noticed that like brothers like yourself and I'm strongly non-opposed to being secular, being like who we are as African Americans, who we are. And so my question would be, but we need them other stories too. We still got comrades and allies, just like in any world people who become a people. We have never yet to become, we're still under the white thumb right now. So to become a people, some of we got people in Africa that fought and died to stop slavery from their people. Let's tell those other stories too. Go ahead.
Yeah, that you can, because that's part of history.
Okay.
So I'm not, unlike other people, I'm not ashamed of history.
Yep.
That's great, man. That's great, because it seems like some people are ashamed of history to the point where they have to recreate history.
Yeah,
that's what I be having a darn problem with. Like I said earlier, if I say that the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, doesn't mean that I'm a fan of the Super Bowl. If I say whatever about the African slave trade, doesn't mean that I'm Pan-African. I'm just speaking history.
And guess what? Hold on. And it doesn't mean she's my leader, because I said, hey, that's a dope analogy. That's a dope concept, because before FBA, there was ADOS, and FBA only came about because he said he felt like ADOS wasn't as airtight as FBA. That's how that name came about. That was the reason he used for that. He said ADOS, he felt like it left some windows open for other folks to sneak in the back door or through a window. So he said foundational Black American. And personally, I would rather be called foundational than a slave.
So what is ADOS? Can you tell me that? I didn't even know.
Yeah, so ADOS is American Descendant of Slaves. So that's Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks, who came up with that analogy to delineate, to show, hey, we're all African descent. This is them talking, but we're different. You got the Haitians who are African descent. You got Nigerians who are African descent. Well, we're the ADOS, right? Who's African descent, and we're different, like everybody else. But we haven't been allowed to broadcast that. Like our government keeps making us all inclusive, or the generic Black person, or the generic African. Like we've never been allowed to delineate. Because even when you say Negroes, there was Negroes being called. Marcus Garvey was using that terminology in Jamaica. So we were never really called, and then color, South Africa's color. So there was never a name for us that was exclusive just for us until we came up with Black.
Mm-hmm.
So Adolf was saying Adolf.
Can we even say we came up with Black, or the white man gave us that?
Okay, so now what's the difference? That's why I mentioned earlier about ethnonym.
Okay.
And you guys about this. All right. So an exonym is when somebody else call you something. For example, the Arabs call the Sudanese people Balad al or Balad al Sudan. They said you are the Black people of the land. An outsider call them that, they agreed and call themselves that. Right. That's called an exonym. You take on the name your colonizer or the person name you. Right. So now in the 1800s, the British was calling all type of people Black. But people rejected it. Even we did. Everybody rejected it. So what we did was, that's like 1800. What we did was 200 years later, revisit that term in the 1960s and say, hey, we're Black. But we didn't use it as an exonym. We use it as an endonym, meaning that we named ourselves and with a different definition that we defined it. So we defined Black. It wasn't defined for us like everybody else. And that's what turned an exonym to an endonym.
Brother Ron. Yeah. I get you on that. It only no pushback, just question to you then. So with that being said, say we did it, but for us to bring something from within, it's not a coincidence. It's a fact. It came from without.
Oh no, yeah, right. So and that's why we're the only people on Earth to turn an exonym to an endonym.
I get it.
Yeah, so I agree with that, but we did something else phenomenal that never been seen before.
You can't turn it back into what you want it to be. It was always an exonym.
Hey Dex, do you know what an exonym is, Dex?
Well, you just sat here and explained it.
Okay, so explain it back to me so we can be on one accord.
An endonym.
No, not endonym. No. Excuse me. Exonym. Can you repeat back what an exonym is?
Is a name that you get from a different group of people. That's what you just said.
Right. And it's their definition, and you accept it, right? Yes. Yeah. So we rejected it. So we didn't get the exonym. We took the same term like nigga. We gave it a different definition. It's endearing. So we didn't take on the same definition.
Why you keep saying we? Like as in everybody
All right,
just
look.
just
Cool. All
projecting.
right, look. You know what? You put you on mute. We ain't gonna do that here. You gonna cause confusion, and I'm not gonna let you do that. But somebody else can talk though. Somebody else can talk.
I'd love to hear Q Butter speak. Q Butter in the house.
Yo, what's good, family?
Yeah, go and give us that knowledge, man. We waiting.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I was listening. You know, I don't try to always be contentious and stuff. I generally don't try to be contentious. The history is a history conversation, but I think Ron, the host, was saying something. I don't think I've ever heard anybody who hosts like FBA shows kind of disassociate themselves from the other conversation. People don't. I generally do that in my understanding. Like I am a Pan-African. How I do understand like the underlining premises of FBA, like disassociating from the Abo conversation, the Moorish conversation, the Angry at Africa conversation, just keeping it focused on Black representation within this region. No, I don't really see anything wrong with that. I think the conversation gets away from that, and then it turns into the whole Abo, we was always here, we was blah, 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 and all this other stuff, and discussions of the 1700s, and it's like, look, bro, let's just keep it on right now, getting people to understand, if you come to the country and you Black, you need to understand the politics for Black people. Yeah. You need to be aligned with it. That's just that simple. You know what I mean? It's really not that different. And when he said earlier, I think he said, because I'm in the same, I don't really rock with mad Pan-Africans. So getting in the conversation and the war and stuff, like I really can't jump into the war. Like I don't really rock with nobody that's been in the. I rock with Dr. Smoke, Professor Smalls. Yeah. I don't know him like that. You know what I mean? Like to jump out the window, not to say it like that. But everybody else, I don't really rock with. So and not all Pan-Africans are the same. So just because one Pan-African jumped out the window, that don't mean all of us is in the same window. We might be just staring at him like I wouldn't even say that shit.
Hey, let me say peace to you and Q Butter and George Makelin's over here, man. He spoke really highly of you, bro. Just want to say that.
Oh yeah, shout out to George, man. I'm about Black people, man. Pushing Black people forward. So everything else is like whatever. And as a Pan-African Black nationalist, the conversation to me, it's really. I mean, outside of the fun of discussing whatever, how we history and debate and culture and stuff like that, but I don't really think it's not a rocket science, but conversation. I think, I even last week I was telling people I'm not even bothered by the word delineate anymore. I think it's been weaponized in the conversation, but there's really nothing wrong with being able to say you're explicitly focusing on the people in the region and what they went through. Like I don't think any Pan-African should have an issue with that.
So me being a Pan-African as well, brother Q Butter, this is Rakufu. I'm gonna ask you. Would you see, and I want all the Blacks on
you
the
should
panel
change your name. You should change your name,
Niels. Niels on the
yeah.
I just got my names there. That's real. I'm gonna fix it. I'll fix it in Zoom.
All right.
But right now, this Rakufu to be on the show with Saneter.
Yeah, because that's what's gonna happen. Somebody gonna say, "Is that Rakufu?" And then you say Niels. They're gonna be like, because that happened with somebody else. Somebody was called
putting it out
like,
there officially.
All right.
But Q Butter, here's something I wanted to ask you. Being a Pan-African too, brother, having a broad scope, panning the universe, really the omniverse, starting with an African center. With us as African Americans, Black people in America, whatever, all the people on the panel want, we Black people, there's Black people in Africa. There's things like the car industry that China sends to their Chinese Americans, and they're able to have open, car, even in New York, all the way out here in LA from where y'all at back east. I'm out here in the West. But it's car dealerships, Nissan, Toyota, and the Chinese, they don't really got it locked as far as workers, but we could do that with some of the Ghana cars, because Ghana got cars and Nigeria have cars. Some of our African-American or Black leaders, we can connect with them and get wholesale stuff and start doing like Garvey wanted to do with the shipping, so that we could bring stuff in and have at our ports. We can take the trucks and pick up the things, take it to our stores, and now we don't have to compete with Mr. Juan for selling our shea butter or our braid for the women's hair. We can have it wholesale, but we got to get to that global stage. We still don't, but we got to get this first, this foundational thing. But once we get it, we got to have a projectile. What we want to do?
Let me ask this.
Okay. I wouldn't use. Let me instead of 3 seconds. I wouldn't really use Garvey as a source on anything productive. I want to use him.
I want to be symbolized with that symbol.
No, I'm saying because he is probably one of the worst examples you want to use to what you're trying to express about like coming together and doing. Garvey, from my knowledge, was a straight scammer.
Okay. Well, let's not
Let me
use him,
ask
but let's use that idea that people project him as of the shipping. You know what I mean by that,
Yeah.
Ron?
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
I
I
know that.
mean.
Yeah.
Like, so
Okay.
that we had our own shipping companies, and then as African, and we had a political block here as foundational African Americans or foundational Black American, however you want to say it. As a people, though, we know who we are as those people, and then we're dealing with the people in the continent of Africa, which we got a better frequency connection with our sickle cell. We know we DNA, we got family coming from that western coast. So if we could get some of that raw material, bring it here, they make money, we make money, and then, but see, we need a military. It all goes back to military because just like they did, what is it, Tulsa or Black Wall Street. Without a military, that's the first time America bombed its own soil.
Let me ask this, because I'll be watching the chat, and I have a problem when people are on either one end, one extreme end, or the other. And I see that Pan-African is a hot button for many people. Me personally, I don't know if I can consider myself a Pan-African. I don't think so, but I am the type of Black person, whereas if I see a Black man getting jumped by 3 white men, I'm gonna jump in with them off the strength of seeing a Black man getting jumped by 3 white men. So I would like to ask all the people in the chat saying, get out of here with that Pan-African stuff, get out of here, Pan-Goofy. Are y'all the type people who will watch another Black man get jumped by 3 or 4 white men? To me, that's as simple as Pan-Africanism. Now, there are some people who take it further and have, visions of trading with them and building relationships. Like I said, there are people on extremes of every spectrum. Then you have people who are in the middle of it. What is the trigger word about Pan-African? Like I said,
I could try to argue that.
All right.
The trigger word is because, first of all, there's no set definition, and there's no set. Let me ask you this: what is the origin of Pan-Africanism? Is it the conference in 1900, or is it Paul Cuff in 1860? What do you want?
I made my own. Oh.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Then the next person you ask, he's going to say, no. And that was like to you, but it wasn't like, it was like kind of rhetorical, because what I'm saying is you'll give your definition and the next person will. And some people, and it might be a great definition that people agree with, but other folks is going to say Umar. Other folks are going to say Marcus Garvey. And that's going to be triggering because we know how that ended. And that was, yeah.
My better get you, but I think that's part of the reality in Black America and throughout Black world is that history is widely not taught, and for many reasons. But that's part of the reality that most people don't know. This is general Black American history. So I find it from when people say, I'm like, yo, this is Black American history. Like, this is the African Diasporic history. Like, we supposed to know this. And why don't we know it? I don't blame Black people. Like, we can take the accountability and responsibility for our generation. We definitely have to. But in the past, like, there still is a system that exists that does not want Black people to be in that certain space. And meaning being able to compete with white folks and knowing your history and being able to compare and contrast the different ways people have attempted to lead and inspire people and connect Black people throughout the history that we have went through. That is important. That is like one of the classes I have is a compare and contrast of leadership, discussions in leadership with a student, understanding how we organize. So even down to when you ask the question about the origins of Pan-Africanism, the central idea of recognizing that we have a common lineage and a common enemy, and we should work together.
Yeah, that part.
That's
the
original premise.
I said, now who's the common enemy? I keep hearing people say that, but they never like tell me who it is.
This goes off the ship. This goes back to the understanding of getting off the ships. And before the ships, we might have sold each other, fought, whatever it was, enemies. But now that we on this ship and we just landed in North Carolina, Trinidad, Mexico, wherever we at, if you look at some of the earliest revolts on ships, we had to band together. And then if you look at the foundations of like black settlements in the Western Hemisphere, from Francisco Menendez in Florida, you have Gaspar Younger in Mexico, you have Queen Nanny in Jamaica, you have the Maroons in Haiti. They all opened the doors for Africans. It wasn't like they said, if you were from this tribe in Africa, you didn't come. It was, once we over here, we got to work together. And then it was a clear understanding of those who went to work with the enemy. And so when we analyze the rebellions of black people throughout the diaspora, the 1,000 rebellions that we've had, the person who sided with white people was the enemy. It was just that simple. Like, you stopped the revolt from happening because you went and told white people. It was
so okay. So then watch this. So when we got rounded up, hold on. When we got rounded up, okay, because we're like fast forwarding. That's why it's called human trafficking. When it's human trafficking, there's two enemies involved. It's the buyer and the seller. So I just want to know, why are we only targeting or focus on one enemy? When we were rounded up in those slave raids and we were killed and beat up and selected, you know, people knew who they was going after. And when they sold us to never return, when they had that Ghana, they had that door over there that we never is to return. I don't look at them as friends and brothers. And when you say Pan-Africanism, I think everybody in the chat understands, and we even said it many times. Black Americans, and maybe you could throw some Caribbean people in there. I won't even argue that. We're the only ones practicing Pan-Africanism. Even what the brother said with the cards in Ghana, like, where's the energy where they are having these conversations like us? Hey, let's get these Black Americans involved.
Well, I think
They do a lot of that.
That's a conversation that has to happen. But just in relating it back to when you said the origins of Pan-Africanism, that to me is more of a, like you said, a diasporic story. That's us in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s. White people really didn't get into Africa till the 1800s. We already over here for 3 years going through suffering. Like, we're suffering for 300
but here's the thing though. When white see what I do, I take it from the top. I take it to how are white folks even strong enough to get to Africa, and that goes back to Africa's fault. So that there's something called brain gain, brain drain, brain circulation, right? That happens right now. And you got immigration and immigration. People leave and that causes a problem for the country, and you come to another country to do better. Nothing wrong with that. But if you go back to your country, that's brain circulation. If you never come back, that's brain drain from your homeland. But the country who receives you, that's brain gain. So the country who receives you, they benefit it all. All right. But the country who lost you, they lose it all. And a lot of these people come over here from Africa. These are the hyper selected of their class. These are the top 10%. These are the most educated, have the most money and the most skilled. So the people who need that they got to go back to their homeland to build it up. This is how Japan became a superpower in 46 years. They practice brain circulation better than anybody in this world, in the world history. All right. They came to America. They came to other European countries. They invited them over there. They took what they had. They took the information. They took the Western information, science, all this type of stuff. They brought it back to Japan and became a superpower in 46 years. So this is what's not happening today. Now watch this. But that's why I take it from the top. The top is when Africans did that joint venture deal with Europeans. This was the largest brain drain in human history. They shipped off between 12 to 15 million of their own across seas to European hands. So this 12 to 15 man, at the very least, labor force were given to Europeans for little to nothing. And what did Europeans do? The Europeans used that labor force to build empires that can't be defeated today. Okay, science, technology, and everything. And they came back. You're right. They did come back. They had that Berlin Conference. And they came back and said, it's their turn. So their own, this is what Africa created by that brain drain, by that human trafficking. So they created this problem for everybody. So they're the last to bitch about it. So they came back in the 1800s and colonized their ass, and history is being told now. So, but
real quick, Ron, before you keep going, okay, I want to ask you this. So, you know how we studied like Australia and different places where Europeans let out their prisons and let them on the islands to take over?
Yeah.
Same with our people. We I don't want to what is the word, romanticize African Americans like they was some holy devout monks that got stolen, took into slavery. A lot of them was bastards, thieves, killed all our ancestors.
Shit.
Let's deal with that too.
Man, you heard this.
So
I know you hate it
Okay.
because you want your people to be glorified.
You
like
know we
they was
hate it.
this great. They was this
Now,
excellent
hold on,
people
hold
minding
on.
their business,
Wait,
and
hold
somebody
on.
grabbed them by the arm. People was being sold from out of the lowest
Wait.
parts of the
Yeah, I'm gonna just
society
say, y'all,
that they was in.
All right, but hold on. All right. So now we're the evil
No, I'm not gonna never
devils.
make
Okay,
a
well, hold
broad
on.
statement. Like I'm not painting,
But
but I'm asking you
just
not
hold on
to
one
paint
second.
that other
Hey,
branch.
No,
other
it's
way.
not.
Yo, Ron,
No, I gave a history. Well, hold on, Dex. Hold on. We're having a conversation, bro. You gotta hold on. Like, it's a great one too, right? What I'm saying is this: that Africans
Mhm.
created a slave trade system, and white folks exploited it. All right. So what I'm saying is, it might have been even at one point, right? But they became incentivized by Europeans to go to do more now.
Fact.
Right. So now, if we were this people who are unholy and was doing the same F stuff as them, now some of us are not.
Yep.
Okay. Some of us are being snatched up to satisfy white people at this point.
Fact.
Okay. And that's the history I'm speaking to. I'm not really speaking to like the business prior to that. I'm speaking to what encouraged 12 to 15 million to be sold. And
in
that wasn't the
essence,
infighting.
everybody play a hand in being something bad. Then we can't.
No. Look,
Okay.
you missed what I said. I'm saying this. The infighting we had over there did not result into 12 to 15 million people being sold.
Facts.
It was when the white man said, "Hey,
I get you," and I'm with you on. I ride with that.
Right,
I just want that other part of the history for the listening people that don't know the history of our people. Don't think it was just all one way, although a lot of it was one way, and don't think a lot of people didn't fight to stop the slavery as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait. You can't say yes. Okay, you can't see a lot of people, but there were. You got Ghana apologizing, right, for their role. You got Queen Nzinga involved. You got the homies. Yeah, of course, because she played a big role in that.
Stomp down.
But here's the thing. The thing is that people were sold to never come back, right? So now that part right there is up and beyond the normal activities, right? So somebody's doing, as we say today, the most, and you need to be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Now after you do that to us, right? You would think in the 2000s sometime when they come over here, knowing that history, that dirty history, you would think the love would be there. Hey, what's going on? No, they come over here, have certain colonial views about us. So now that's like a double down to some of us. We like, oh shit, like.
Hey, yo, Ron.
Yep.
But I must
wait,
say,
hold on, Dex. Hold on. You'll get your shot, dude. Just relax, bro. You keep hopping in. And I want the brother to respond. I don't want this to be like Saneter panel where everybody's going at each other and cussing each other out. No apostles over here. I want it to be like a little orderly, and that's what I'm trying to like shut up real fast. I try to say a lot and shut up to let the brother respond, and then we'll move on. I know you're gonna change the subject to something totally different.
Nah. All right, go ahead. Respect.
So the only thing we're trying to highlight is this, is that we didn't forget, right? We didn't forget who sold us and bought us. So. Because white folks could say the same thing. When you were on a plantation, we start selling you when slavery was abolished, and some of y'all wasn't holy. You was stealing chickens. You know what I mean? They was making the same claim during convict leasing. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead, man.
In my opinion, I don't think that it was more so that we didn't hold each other, the slave. I mean, not the slave, but the people that sold us off accountable. I don't think that's normally true because we all understand that it was a slave trade. So
I just said no. Hold on. Do I gotta play these videos, bro? I got quick 1 minute videos of Africans saying they never sold us. They said white folks.
Can I finish my point real quick?
Wait, no. But I got here we go. No. See, that's the thing, man. You just said something false. You just said we all understood it happened. I just debated Ankh, man, 3 months ago. He said it never happened. Chef said he debated Ankh for 3 months. That it never happened.
I'm not agreeing with Ankh and them. I'm not Ankh and them.
No, but you said something false. So you made a blanket statement. You said we all understand that it happened, bro. On my channel, when Pan-Africans come over here, hey, bro, who was I talking to before Dex? Was it Nils?
Neil. Yeah, I'm right here. No, you was talking to Neil. Yeah.
Okay. So Nils and Dazali.
Let me
Rakufu. Look, this is funny. Check this out. This is funny. When people come on a panel, right, they talk. Ones I don't know, right? I invite them over here or they hop on. and they sound like Dex, right? What I do is the litmus test is ask them about the slave trade because I know if that they deny it, they're most likely a Pan African. I'm sorry, and you'll see them more than so say it didn't happen. They'll say white folks stole it, so Dex, you're wrong. Most of the Pan Africans that come over here,
I'm telling you, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
okay,
that.
I got you. I got you. I ain't okay, cool. But you're saying people believe that, but believe that we all knew that it happened, and maybe the average American does. But we're talking about communities. Then we're talking about the council's community. We're talking about my panel. We're talking about my chat. We're talking about Unc chat. That's not common sense.
I clearly said in my opinion. I said in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't want your anecdotal opinions. We're not doing that tonight or no night. We're speaking on like what was commonly known or taught or believed. Because I could give you anecdotal opinions all day long.
Are you so biased? How are you not? How are you unbiased but you biased?
Okay, all right. I mean, look, this guy is wild. All right, yeah, but you made a statement that you can't like substantiate. You said most, and we're talking about communities, bro. I bet you we go on a lot of these panels and start asking about chattel slavery. They're gonna say white folks took Africans from Africa, and the slave trade wasn't a slave trade. But bro, this is for Dex. Hey Dex, the fact that I can sit here and play Africans. Matter of fact, there's a brother who was a Caribbean dude that I just played last night talking to Dr. Mayat. I just played this one. This was 2 days ago, her channel. Or 3 days now. The guy said white folks took us from Africa. This is a guy in Ghana right now preaching Pan-Africanism, all type of shit. And the guy said that in front of Dr. Mayat, and Dr. Mayat said nothing. And I heard her lectures. She cooked Unc, or it happened because Unc brought it to her too. So she cooked Unc. That's why I was confused when he tried me.
At Ghana that you're talking about, Brother Ron?
The guy that did was language. He deals with language.
Yeah, and he has dreads.
Yes, that guy said like a little list.
I don't know about that particular conversation, but he's a real smart dude. Go ahead.
Yeah, he seemed like he's smart and know his stuff, but when he said that, man,
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, see, they go that agenda, man. They go that agenda.
Yeah. See, the agenda is being pushed. I think it's kind of like the Nation of Islam teaching about we came from Asia, 66, all that stuff. They trying to do something. I don't get it, man. I mean, let's just tell it like it is. Some of us was bad people. Some of them was bad people. We in this basketball game, this other team.
Now, I don't read that, though.
Well, let me say this, Ron. Let me just say this. Let me land my plane. I just want to say this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I just want to land my plane by saying
we
in the basketball game, and these white cats, they shooting at us. They shooting at the basket. They making their points, and we sitting on the court not playing deep, just looking at each other, arguing over, I'm from Ghana. I'm from America. Man, we got to get back in this game soon.
Now,
yeah, but
one thing,
okay.
One thing that's not being quantified, and I think that we would do well to quantify it and to observe it right now is, what led up, well, not what led up, but what made it easier for them to take advantage of Africa like that is something that's called tribalism. Whereas, you had this one tribe shooting at the other tribe, shooting at the other tribe, gang, Crips versus Blood. Now,
right.
Then we can look over here and we can see that we still have Crips versus Blood versus
but they're a small minority over here, bro. That's a small minority.
But what I am speaking towards is why do we have the propensity to always want to have gang versus?
Okay, so our story is a little different.
Who's riding against us?
Right. Well, our story is a little different. We're dealing with systemic racism where white folks literally took out our leaders. All right. So we know the story of how our activism and activists turned and Black Panthers organizations turned to like gangs. We know how they did that. They literally, yeah, exactly. COINTELPRO. This stuff didn't happen in Africa amongst their tribes before the white man, right? Now, of course, when the white man got there.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they were tribal before the white man got there. White man came over here because with the Tutsis and Hutus, the white man the French. The French went over there and inflamed that and caused a genocide, mass genocide. This is what they did, and they're trying to do it over here. Which we say that they're getting the African immigrants, and they're getting some Caribbean, Afro-Caribbeans that they're trying to get them to be conservative, speak against reparations, to speak against certain things to try to cause like a similar outcome. But the Tutsis and the Hutus and Tutsis, what they did was they empowered the minority over the majority who was always empowered, and of course that triggered the hell out of them. And then they started to like feel a certain way, talking shit, and it eventually led to a mass
genocide. Yeah.
Yep.
So why does it seem like we're trying to go down that path though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Why we still get caught up with it when it's something new? Like, let's say we had hip hop in the 90s, and a lot of people now, because we have different music now, all of a sudden they hate 90s hip hop. We not with that
we
anymore.
have see the thing is, one thing you keep leaving out is that we have white music producers, distributors. So like there's always a big, powerful white man. Matter of fact, add this part in there. We are the only minority that's within the majority of white folks. Everybody else is the majority in their countries. So it's hard, it's easier for us to be influenced, easier to manipulate, sabotage, COINTEL. It's too easy because we're still like kind of like guests in our own country.
Yeah.
The power imbalance is crazy. The dollar imbalance is crazy, and this is why we have these stances we have today.
Peace.
Okay.
Hey, Ron, let me ask
show
you
you.
this.
Hold on. Real
Okay.
quick. Let me finish. Let me show you where I'm going with it, Ron. Why is it gang with FBA and let's say Pan-African or ADOS? Why are we still playing the gang game?
Can I give it to you, Dizali?
I want to talk. Us, you against us.
There's no gang there at all.
Look at the
not
chat.
really.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Right. Okay. So what you're doing is this. That's like me walking into Liberia during the let's say early 1900s. You're gonna have the natives and the American Liberians ganging. Right. But if you don't know how that started, again, like the Hutus and Tutsis, white man with the ACS deported a lot of blacks to a lot of free blacks to in about 10 to 12,000 to Liberia to undermine the natives, right? Because they put them in positions of power, politics, and made them presidents, right? So but if you don't know that and you go there 30, 40, 50 years later and you see the gang, you'll think it's even. But once you understand what happened, like, oh, the same thing with the Tutsis and Hutus. Once you understand what just happened, you're like, oh, or even Nigeria, right? With BP and the oil spill and the Ogoni people. Like, once you see why the Ogoni people is, because they were ganging against the Nigerian government, right? They're like, hey, man, all this oil is killing our food, our way of life. And they were speaking out, getting shot down by Nigerian soldiers. So, so the gang, there's a story to tell there. And there's an origin story. Now, for us, Pan-Africanists, let me ask you this. During the height of the civil rights movement, were Pan-Africanists pro-civil rights or anti-civil rights? Anybody want to take that question?
Oh man, let me jump in. This is B1. Peace to the chat, man. Appreciate you, Ron, for even clicking me, letting me come in. I can't tell you. I don't have the answer to that. Whether or not they was pro civil rights, the Pan Africans. I don't know.
Well, who was the king of Pan-Africanism at that time? So yeah, let me let the brothers know this. So the king of Pan-Africanism. When I say civil rights, we're not talking about 1960. You got somebody called A. Philip Randolph, who is that's civil rights. Union rights.
He was considered a Pan-Africanist.
No. He was considered a civil rights activist.
Right.
Like he's the one that got Dr. King to march. That idea was originally his.
A. Philip Randolph. Yeah, I heard of him, but I'm saying you said you asked, was there a Pan-Africanist that was pro civil rights or against it? I don't even know nobody that was claiming to be a Pan-Africanist back then.
You got Marcus Garvey.
You also got W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, but W. Du Bois, like he was pro civil rights. Like he prioritized his Pan-Africanism. Like he knew it was about civil rights first, and then once he got the ball rolling with that, then he went with his Pan-Africanism. And we don't have no problem today if that's what we expect for Pan-Africanists today to be more like W. Du Bois. prioritize like what's important, and what's important to us really is galvanizing among kind of what Q Butter said, but he went to all of Africa. It's like, well, that's a lot harder to do to galvanize a couple billion
That's
over
that's realistic
43 million.
expectation, man, to have everybody on the same page. You ain't gonna never.
So you start. So look,
I
I
know
always
you
say
don't
this.
like all the generalizations, but come on, man, that's damn near impossible to always have
So, but that's
everybody
why
on
we
the
say
same
this though.
page.
That's why we say this. That's why you got to compartmentalize. You got to say, okay, we'll do our part.
There you go.
Ghanaians, the Jamaicans, we expect everybody to do what we're doing.
Well, Ron, let me ask you this, because you make a lot of sense with that's what that. Go ahead, B1.
Look,
my fault, cut him off. My fault.
I got a lot, and it was a lot of stuff I wanted to ask him, because I'm going to pick my son up. I'm hearing y'all talking about other stuff. I wanted to ask you about that stuff, but y'all boom, everybody going back and forth. I wanted to ask Ron this. I got a couple of more things to say, but I wanted to ask Ron this. Like I asked Seti the other night, he got mad. He just he hit up and rushed me off. What is the definition of Pan-Africanism? I need a clear, precise definition of what Pan-Africanism really is, man. Nobody ever defines it. They just, he was a Pan-African. He was a Pan-African. So what was he doing? What is a Pan-Africanist? So I can, and for the chat, like you say, this educational purposes. Some people don't know, don't generalize. So in your opinion, what is Pan-Africanism? Ron?
Yeah, so for my opinion, Pan-Africanism was supposed to be eyes on Africa, Africa-centered, and eventually go back to Africa. If you look at CARICOM reparation bullet points, in that they got repatriation in there. Right. So for me, Pan-Africanism has to involve repatriation, or I think people just shamming you.
No, Ron, let me talk on it, Ron, when you give me a chance.
I got it.
Because we ain't all trying to go back to nowhere. The whole earth, we claiming Africa is the origin of mankind, and the whole earth is our turf. We're not claiming we're claiming a base, where we originated out of, but we don't have no physical or psychological bars or trying to go back. We're trying to make sure the kingdom is at its highest refined that it can be. And so what I would say, a Pan-Africanist is someone who believes in and actively supports the unity, freedom, liberation, and collective advancement of the people of Africa worldwide and its descendancies, even stretching all the way down its roots and trees to the white, blue-eyed blonde hair, getting the philosophy back on course. If all men came out of the loins of a black man and woman, what are we tripping on as a human? It's a pecking order.
See,
like if you got a father and mother, Ron, I gotta, and that's my father and mother. What I look like, acting like I'm somebody bigger than. That's where y'all got a war against me.
But see, and I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with that, and that's why people do a lot of projecting, talking about these FBAs in a diaspora war. FBA it's a diaspora war. It's not. No, we not at war.
Nope.
FBA is not at war with nobody. We just said, look, we're going to take a break. We're going to, like he said, we're going to get our house together. We're going to get our stuff together. So that means we can't be worried about nobody else's problem. Hey, we love you like our cousin. Hey, man, you can come over, get you a Thanksgiving plate, get you one to go. But shit, you can't stay here. You can't spend the night here. Yeah. But we still love you. We still kinfolk. Yeah. The Africans, the continental Africans, those are our distant cousins. And I wanted to get on because I was talking about Ankh saying that it was definitely no black people on this landmass, prior to Columbus, which is a lie. And I don't understand how people can think or know that Africa is the cradle of civilization and our people been all over this planet, but that none of them came here. So that's wild to me. And just another point, the guy was saying, I don't know who that was, saying they brought bad people over here from Africa. Well, Dr. Clark said the Africans over there, ancient Africans, didn't even need no jail until they came in contact with the European. That's what he said.
B1, that was me.
Right.
B1.
Okay.
That
So
was
I'm
me.
just saying,
Just to let you know.
I don't
Okay.
think it was no bunch of savages that they piled on the boat and sent over here. They sent doctors and scientists and stuff over here. We've been building and stuff ever since we've been over here, creating stuff. We held 50,000 patents right after slavery. We cut our literacy rate in half just 2 or 3 years out of slavery. Had millionaires in Wilmington and Oklahoma. You know, so I don't believe we would, you know, it might have been a small percentage. Like only 3% of the kidnapped Africans even made it over here.
Yeah.
But I think in that percentage, I think it might have been 0.001% of them that was just savages. No, I don't
And I
believe
didn't say
that, you know.
savage. Let me let you know, B1. I didn't say savage. I never called them savage. I said criminal activity. And we can see that in the tombs of Kemet, where they was robbing, grave robbing our own. They had gangs in Egypt in that time that would rob graves after the pharaoh was buried and take the gold. You had all that over Ghana,
You don't
Congo.
think that was the Arabs? You don't think that
No,
was
our
Alibaba
people. We
and the
talk
40
about
thieves and them?
I get that. That's years later. I'm talking about at the like, say for instance,
You talking about ancient Kemet.
yeah, I'm talking about the Nubian times and in that part.
Right.
They got
Damn.
thieves. They had
Yeah.
bands of gangs all
Right.
throughout Africa that did like today. You couldn't just be doing what you're doing over there if you ain't got some. It's certain spiritual things that we was having problems with still, but not to a point where it was better than the good. We were way glorious, but we did have in
Right.
fact those
We
people
got
that we probably
everything.
sent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
But
so I
let
was
me
thinking.
I just
Go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry, man. I
No,
just want like,
B1.
as
B1.
far
Let
as
me
that
say
goes,
this. Let me say this,
Go
B1.
ahead.
I was trying to say this. That those people, I think, just like if you was a king in Africa, the first ones you would send was the bad crop, the ones that was giving you problems over there. We all going to work. He's staying at the spot, stealing the food. We get back, we ain't got nothing to eat. He over there with his stomach
Right.
fat. You know,
I
people
get
that
it.
we
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 But
See,
then
that's
it started
logical.
getting cracking. They started taking the good people. I get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah. You know, and that's logical. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ankh over there. Well, you know, I don't want to be name dropping Ron, but you said you know you were saying you was on that panel and all that stuff, and I just been hearing all this. He want to call people pseudo. He be sounding the most pseudo out of anybody I ever heard.
Well, y'all know
And
we had an
he, you
argument
know, was
tonight.
talking about, you know, wasn't no black people over here. He was talking about the DNA and stuff like that. But you know,
B1 business.
I think all that's just filibustering because he don't want to deal with the fact, or a lot of people don't want to deal with the fact that FBA is just delineating and we just doing our own thing. Well, our delineation is the movement, but you know, we own reparations. You know, and the code is the leader. They over there talking about you got to be a leader, man. You got to have a leader. No, we don't. The code is the leader. We don't, as long as we on code doing pushing for the right thing that we supposed to be doing to get us toward our goal for reparations, that's the leader. You know, and it was something else I wanted to touch on as far as he was like, you know, the people, you know, he was saying something about the equator. And with thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, America was covered in ice. So he tried to say that, you know, the people that was over here, they derived from here. No, people migrated over here thousands of years ago from Africa.
Okay,
They was the
all right.
first people here. So that's my conjecture. You
All right,
know,
B1.
and that's go ahead.
Real quick, I wanted to say this. Yes, the people who came over here came here from Africa, but we know that those
Right.
people walked through Europe, through Asia, crossed through
They sailed over
Siberia,
here.
and came through
The Bering Strait.
You don't
Alaska.
think they had
Bering
boats?
And
Strait.
by the time they had got here, they weren't black anymore. Now, we can say that people came here doing via boat. We can say that, but we don't have evidence. See, that's where pseudo and not pseudo
we do have evidence.
comes in.
Yeah.
We do have evidence.
We do have evidence,
If
Dolly.
anyone can find a academic source showing that Africans came here via boat, y'all might have a damn Nobel
Yeah, I got it.
Prize
I got it
I
saved.
got one right here. We could,
Um,
man, I wish somebody could pull it up on video. You'll
Yeah.
see where they have a
Me
boat
too.
that made it here to America. It's in Revisiting America by Van Sertima, where he brings in the scientific data. Everybody hears Van Sertima name, and they got something quick to say about pseudo. That's bull crap. Van Sertima was
Yeah, they
very
call
sharp.
stuff pseudo. They don't want. Yeah.
Yeah, Van Sertima was very sharp. None of them could stand in a class with Vance. All this Ankh, glorified crackhead Ankh. He couldn't stand in a classroom
Right.
Van Sertima, but he's quick to tongue lash him. He
If we
shows in
look,
his book. He
uh-huh.
shows in his book, Van Sertima, where, and we're not talking about the Thor boat with Thor Hartendahl, the Ra 1 and 2. We're talking about a West African dugout boat. At that time, the West Africans was making boats bigger than the Vikings. They show it. I got video you can see. There's a boat that made it to the Americas 2 weeks faster than America Vespucci's boat, which they named the country America after, 2 weeks faster. They did the experiment. It made it all the way to the land. So, and it's the closest from that continent to this continent, Brazil to Africa. It's a lot of variables like the cotton. It can't be all. He just throws all of it away and says pseudo like a crackhead would do.
Okay. Do we have, proof and evidence of them establishing a population here? Let's say that they did make it here. Do we have proof and evidence that they actually established a population here? Are they present in the genome here? Archaeology.
If you read Dr. David Imhotep's book, he got artifacts. He got E1, B1 haplogroups. I think it's haplogroups. I can look it up. Artifacts. He got digging tools. He got bones. All this was found in South Carolina, and it's dating back 51,000 years.
All right, now
the first Americans was Africans. You can pick that book up.
Let me ask you this:
the best book is $150. They got one. They got one on Amazon for like $49, but that bad mofo is $140 or $150. But the page 14, it break down everything, all the artifacts they found. And these are archaeological digs. This ain't nobody just saying, hey, this and that. No, these people was out there in the field digging and found this stuff in South Carolina. So,
if I Google this, if I Google that information that you just gave us, will that be information that is backed by academia, or will they label that as
who is that? He's the academia.
I gotta ask you, B1.
He has peers. He has peers.
B1.
Though.
Hold up, B1. Let me ask Dazali this. Dazali this. Dazali, listen to this carefully. At one point in time, the academia used to say that the stone temples in South Africa or in Mashonaland, Zimbabwe, the Great Zimbabwe stone structure, was made by some white man from the north. No blacks could possibly have done that, and that was their archaeological stance on that. Am I wrong?
Right.
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, so if you were at that present time and you would have said to me, what do you have to show to Mashona? That's the same thing B1 kind of getting from you now when you say with academical, because the academics there was wrong.
Right. That's just that's because he don't want to accept the information. So he gonna what about this or what about
who corrected
that people
them,
do
though?
that. I don't understand that.
B1.
Yes, sir.
It took years for them to correct. Oh, go ahead.
And B1, this is what that's why I say, like, it ain't just scholarship in America, it's scholarship everywhere. You know what I mean? You got schools everywhere on any continent, on any landmass. You got it's academia everywhere. You don't just find it in America. The consensus is amongst.
So you saying that to say what?
No, I'm saying that to say, like, we can't keep saying that just because the white man saying it. No, it's black people everywhere researching things too, digging up bones, archaeological things.
Dr. Imhotep is black.
White people don't.
That's what
David Imhotep. David Imhotep.
The enemy don't want to dig it up, because if they dig it up, then they find in our history.
Exactly. The deeper you dig, the blacker we get.
Exactly.
I got a good one for you. I got a good one for you,
all
Dex.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, and B1, I got a good one for you. They used to say that the oldest Homo sapien, and this one especially for you, Dazali, I know you know this is facts. They used to claim Ethiopia had the oldest Homo sapiens till they found it in Morocco, right, Dazali?
Correct.
So then at that point, what do we until the evidence is done? So and we know when that Zimbabwe temple was found, it took them 12 years. They buried the rhino, the golden rhino that they found in the grave sites to show it was the Black African tribe of the Mashona people of Great Zimbabwe. They buried that and kept the narrative running for additional 12 in deep down in the the museum there. They had to go down in there and open up that drawer and say that thing been there for 12 years that proved it was by the Mashona people. But they kept running with the narrative, Solomon's Mines or some white man built this.
King
So what do
right,
we know what
right,
they got buried right? Do you trust them people? All this stuff?
right.
It for me it's not really about trust. For me it's about whoever has the darn evidence, because we've seen where it go where we listen when we just listen to darn people lips. That's how you get, Polites, Malachi Yorks, just listening to darn people. Me, you have to
Well,
show me
I
the
gave you a
money, show
source.
me
I
the
gave you a source.
evidence.
It's up to
Okay,
you
I
whether
get
or
you.
not
Let
you
me find one. Hold up.
I'm just saying I gave you a source. It's up to you whether or not you believe that source. You can Google the book, you can buy the book. And not only that, you can do this research. You can Google this. Who created Egyptologists? Egyptology was created by some racist ass Germans.
Yeah.
They was Orientalists first. They
Yeah.
was up there digging all over in Oriental countries.
Asia, yeah.
Yeah. And then when they found out what was
B1, you
going
know
on
about
in
the
Africa, that's
bones?
when they changed it all up. When they found all this stuff in Egypt, that's when they changed it up. Oh, we Egyptologists. Then they decided who could be Egyptologists and who could teach it, and who deciphered the metanetter and all that shit. This white folks deciphered, they came up with all of that.
And
know,
business, B1. Did you know they found 3 skeletons in the Americas? 2 of them they could post date to, or they could bring them up to say, well, they was into slavery. But it's the one that they still don't talk about that came pre-Columbian they dug up.
Lucille?
No, I'm gonna get it. It was 3 in a row, and it was in I think it was in the Caribbeans. I think Andre go ahead. Somebody saying something?
No, I'm just saying right. That's me. That's B1. I'm just saying right. I can
Let
be
me
quiet.
find them, man. I need to find them because I did a study on it. They said the third one they couldn't. They said it's a possibility something was wrong with the carbon dating on it, but it can't be dated to the time of Columbus. It had to be before him, and it was an African skeleton.
Right. It's probably Lucille woman. That because I just recently found out about her. I just knew about Lucy. That was 3 million years old, found in, I believe, in South Africa.
No,
they
she's
burnt that
3 million
museum up.
years old.
Oh my God,
they got one
B1, they burnt
predating
that
that.
museum up. Did you know that too, Dex? They burnt the museum up where the Lucia skeleton was at because it was in somewhere in South America. This doctor had found that he tried to make it Asian, it kept coming back non-Asian. He tried to make it European, it kept coming back non-European.
I seen that video too.
You saw that video. You know that museum where they was holding
that video too.
Yeah, so you know where they was holding that skeleton. Somebody set a fire to the whole museum.
Yeah.
They don't want that information out.
Come on, it's too much. For me to be
just like they burnt up Timbuktu.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, business. What was that book that you had said? I want to look it up real quick.
The first Americans were Africans. Documented evidence.
It's
gonna be a yellow. The front of it, the front of the book is yellow with a black man on a black dude. You should look just like one of us today with nappy hair. Ain't had no haircut in a little while.
And they found
the first Americans was African. Documented evidence by Dr. David Imhotep.
I read that whole book. Yep.
Okay.
And look, when Dewan B brought that up, you could hear Dr. Mayat in the back room, talking about, oh no. Like that's pseudo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, even you gonna discredit our scholars? You know what I'm saying? For the sake of bigging up Pan-Africanism, you should. I heard. You can go back and listen to it when cause Uncle was trying to say, bring me some evidence, source up, provide a source, and Dewan B brought the name of the book up. He said, man, you can look this book up to show that black folks was here first. Which I'm talking about that, and I love talking about that. Man, I've been on that kind of stuff, but I know that ain't got nothing to do with our reparations claim, and I delineate. Our reparations claim is from 1526 to 1865.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. That's who's owed the money. It don't matter where they came from or how they got here, but from 1526 to 1865, those people got put together, enslaved, and built this country.
Fact.
Yeah.
Hey, B1.
Yeah.
B1.
What's
This is
up?
a good question for you. Said he shows you when he goes to Ethiopia, the OMAC head that the Mexican government sent to Ethiopia. What would they send you up? Why did they send an Aztec representing who they are? Why? Because they know something, man.
They know.
The government,
They
not
know.
no,
And
not no pseudo
Hey, let
museum.
me say that. Let me
Look.
say this. Let me say this.
Hold on,
real quick.
hold on. Just let me tell him this one thing. Let me tell him this one thing about the OMAC. The dagger. I don't. What's bro name that asked me about that? What's your name, bro?
That's Rakufu right here, Neil.
Rakufu. Hey, the dagger, and then I'll let y'all have it, man. I don't want to be, I don't want to be hogging the space, Ron. I appreciate you, but look, the dagger is in the middle of the cause they, the Mexicans, you get the Mexicans on there all the time. I be on Facebook, you get them all the time. Y'all culture vultures, y'all stealing culture. There's no way in the world that the old Mex was African. Well, shit, said he hit him with the dagger. Because in the middle of that Mayan calendar, that's the oldest African god best. That's the oldest African god best in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the Mayan calendar.
Kemetic statues.
With the tongue hanging out. And when I hit them with that, they all shut up. I don't care what Mexican I'm talking to, they shut up. They all shut up. And where I work at, man, I've seen a Mexican with that same calendar on his elbow. You know how they put them on their elbow.
Yeah. Hey,
hello?
Let me
Oh,
say
I
this.
thought it had hung up, but yeah, that's a dagger, man.
Let
in
me
the
say
middle
this.
of that calendar is the oldest African god best, and they can't deny it. So I believe that the Olmecs came from North Africa and got over there in 1200 BC, and that's African technology over there that they brought over there before the Mayans, Aztec, and the Incas even got there. So that's the most stuff I wanted to say about that other stuff. But I'm gonna get back on here, man. I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm just gonna listen. Y'all go ahead.
No, hold up, Bex.
All right, go ahead.
Let me just, and I'm gonna get on, and then you go and rock it out. B1, don't go. No, can you hear me, B1?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at this, B1, and this is a reason that we know voodoo is real. Okay, so in voodoo, you got the homies. Right?
Right.
All right. So the homies voodoo is in West Africa today called Benin. If you go all through African American, the first play on Broadway, all black people done was called In the Homie, about getting back to the homie. What do black people from New York to Detroit to Chicago to the South say when they going to kick one of the black? Man, that's a word.
The homies.
That go the homies for real. I'm gonna just leave.
Right.
I just really wanted to say this. A lot of things have happened in history, and things that we may not even know forever. You feel me? So it's like we can't overcomplicate everything. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us, we overcomplicate, and that's from any background on any movement or whatever you want to call yourself. We overcomplicate history to where and it's things out there that we don't know at all. That's why they make findings almost every day. You feel me? So we can't just overcomplicate everything and bring in these group of people to explain a different point of time in history. Like we gotta simplify certain things. We can't overcomplicate every point in history. But that's what I just wanted to say.
Right. Hey, hey, y'all go please subscribe to my channel, man. Just click on there and subscribe, man. I'm trying to get up to enough so I can be going live and have these panels over there on my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even ask, but Ron already said we can share our stuff over here. You know what I'm saying? So y'all boys go click on that subscribe on B1 Business, man, and so we can do this over there too.
For sure. I'm finna subscribe right now.
There you go. Wakufu. There you go, right there.
Yeah, we finna get it in, man. For real, Rock. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know, some kind of way with shit we can do emails or whatever. I don't know how to do it on here.
Hey, wait, who was you talking to?
You hear me, Ron?
Oh, Ron. Okay.
Huh?
You talking to Ron?
Ron, I was talking about Rock Kufu.
That's me.
Him,
yeah, that's me. Right,
all of y'all too, but especially him.
No,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
me.
We can chop it up on that African shit.
And that's what I was saying. I was saying when people come here to talk that with me, I'm like, nah, there's people that got spaces already waiting for you. You dig?
Yeah.
And he got one of them, and he's inviting you right there. And I just had to redirect people to the right channels for the right conversation.
Yeah, I'm FBA all day, man. But I got something, man. I got books on my shelf, man. I got 2 or 3 of Dr. Ben's books.
Yes, sir. I got Shake Out the
I
Geop
got
right here. Geop.
yeah. I think I got one of his books.
Yeah.
I got Christopher Columbus and African Holocaust. That's the Dr. Clark book. I even bought Garfield Reed book, the where he banging on the Hebrews. I got his book up there.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we can chop it up, man. Yeah, man.
I want
Ron,
him to
how
come
can we
over here.
exchange information?
Yeah.
Hey.
Black Think Tank.
Let me give you my.
Yahoo.com.
Oh, go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how to do it on the back channel.
Oh, yeah. So I'll maybe put the link in the chat. If you don't know how to do it in the back channel. So I guess, tell them your channel, email, something like that. And
I'm gonna post mine in the I'm finna get off so I can get back in the chat, and I'll just put it on there. Y'all click on the link and just come subscribe. But Rob, man, you got to subscribe so we can chop it up.
Oh man, that's
Ron, I appreciate you, man. I'm finna go back off in the chat, man. Peace to all of y'all, man.
Yep, peace.
Love, light, and reparation.
Yeah, I got my phone died. I got kicked off, so it's missed a lot of the conversation. But sound like y'all was having a good one.
Hey, Ron, if I put under in the back chat where it got B1 business and I put call me and my number, he'll get it.
Yeah, make sure it's not the YouTube. Make sure it's a Zoom chat.
It is.
Okay, yeah. He'll get it. As long as if he's still there, he'll get it. If he left, he's not gonna get it.
Damn. I wonder if he left. Hopefully he didn't leave.
I heard him leave, so let me see. Let me just double check. No, he left.
I'll catch him next time on the next go.
Yeah.
But no, Ron, so you was basically, this is your channel. Let me get it under clarification of your channel. Go ahead, let me know, because I can't tell you. Tell me.
Yeah, so far, did you hear anything that said it was?
Well, let me say this, man. Me and him had a big argument today. We ain't messing with each other.
I know because he was being himself. Nobody can get along with him. That's why. I was the original pseudo killer, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, he threw me out. Me and my boy X. He threw us out. He threw Chef out. And then the Cedrics, came. The Kents, came afterwards. And then I don't know where they at, but yeah, bro, nobody can because he does not take criticism or advice, bro, at all.
At all. Hey, and that's the signs of a recovering crackhead, which he is. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. He tell you himself he was a crackhead. When you a crackhead, those are some of you paranoid, everybody's against you. You're right, everybody else is wrong. That's just the symptoms.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is, but he definitely. I mean, I'm on the phone with him. We're on the same team back in those days. I'm like, yo, think we should do it. I mean, I'm just arguing. I mean, and then guess what? You got to debate him, and then 2 months later he'll finally come around and don't even tell you. Like he just be all of a sudden your side.
Counterproductive.
Like, I don't get no flowers.
Yeah, man. See, and that's what I don't like. He literally did a whole show called FBAA. Me and him on the phone, like me and you on this panel right now. I had this direct, we talking. He like, oh, I like that, yo. I'm gonna rock that. FBAA, African Foundation. Then he did a show. I'm looking at the show, didn't give me no credit.
Told you.
Cold as
yeah, I remember on Saneter TV, they were trying to discuss whether a virus was dead or alive. And I was like, in science it's called dead, but it's like really inactive, something like that. And but it's neither. But he was saying alive, and we had a private conversation, and I gave some straightening. And then he took that back to Saneter. No credit. It just
straight shiesty, scandalous, crackhead moves.
Now I ain't say all that, but
I
he
said it. Got
definitely.
I hope he listening out there in the TV world.
But I mean, sometimes he gave me some credit. Sometimes I ain't gonna say he never did. Sometimes he'll give me credit, but give me the credit, especially when we're debating, and then and you turned out you agree with me. You get my credit, but he is stubborn. He doesn't. He's not scientific literate. Okay, I'm gonna say that because to be scientific literate, you have to be open. You gotta be objective. You can't be closed-minded. You can't have your mindset on something and that's it. And I'm gonna do. And he does confirmation bias research. He just read and research anything that talks about that agrees with him. Like he's not going to research. Remember, his stance was Wikipedia undefeated, right?
Right.
But guess what?
So
it started to go against him. Now all of a sudden, Wikipedia, they got flaws. That's him, bro. I don't do stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, look, Ron. So I think, man, reason me and we was talking about this out here in LA. Some of my guys, we need to do commerce and business as FBA. If we're gonna be FBA, because I have no problem with circling it off who got on the boat, who's all on this boat, and our objective is food, clothing, shelter, and a prosperous life on the planet. That's every culture's or human's objective, and to keep going scientifically. So we can do it based on our regions where we are here and be a particular branch of who we, of humanity, FBA. But let's do business without, we got such a connection and family oriented closer than anybody. Let's do business with Ghana. Let's bring the Ghanese cars here and have car lots and see if we can compete with Toyota, with Chinese doing what they're doing with China and their families.
I mean, like business is, national, international. Yeah, the business is business. Like again, like I think people mix up our position with people like Ankh and other who we call tethers, right?
Okay.
Tethers are just foreign people that look like us that goes against. It's not everybody that's foreign, that's melanated. It's the ones that we know of that come over for sure and speak against our talking point, downplay reparations, say we're lazy. Those are the tethers, okay? But what I'm saying is, they misrepresent people. People hold us when we talk to them. They act like we're talking about everybody else that's involved. That's why I made it real clear, like with the Caribbean. I'm like, no, the Caribbean, they got more in common with us because they were victims too of the slave trade, and they are the aspiring. That's why I said, naturally when we come around them, we be cool with them. Like those will be around them, like
and I can
Jamaicans and
I straight rock with all that.
Trinidadians.
The only pushback here with me and you, and it's not even nothing, we can still eat and have a ball and live and be family, is that I'm gonna always hold Liberia down because I know my uncle, my nephew, my niece, direct your uncle, your nephew, your niece, they're somewhere in that African culture now as a direct result. Are you there?
Not me to myself. Now I said, yeah, we're not. I don't believe Liberia said or did anything to the Foundation of Black America. So what we are, like we're speaking against people specifically. We're not generalizing. We're not, we're when we say somebody, we're talking about those who do it and they do it. The thing we have is when people from the Pan-Africanist movement try to downplay or act like it doesn't exist for those who do it. We're not saying all of them for our entire country.
Yep.
Because some of them don't think about it at all. They trying to do their own thing. But the ones who do think about it for some odd reason, we are speaking against them, and they need to. So we're saying is the same way we will call out our coons, Malcolm X and A. Philip Randolph, Frederick Douglass. We always called out our people in our lineage who's against the code, who's against like what we're the ideology, right, of the race, of not the race, the lineage. We call them coons, we call them all types of things to point them out. We're saying we're asking for the same for those who want to do business with us beyond code. We're saying, hey, we don't mind doing business and those things, but we can't let your next door neighbor wild out against us and you just don't bat an eye. Like, dude, you got to call that guy out. You even got white people in America who's calling out the racists, that was like trying to do the most to us. White folks is calling them out, hey, you're racist. And right now, they be man was in the street marching, beating up the Klan, all type of shit be doing. So if they can do it, why can't those who claim that they got some type of sheer ancestry with us do it?
Yeah.
Against their own, we call their coon or tether class. Got to do that. And that's what makes, in my mind, a lot of people who call themselves FBAs more reluctant to do outside. I'm saying, but folks who don't call themselves FBA, they're gonna be business, right? More business minded, more open minded.
it kind of
We're more on guard.
boils down. It boils down for me. If Nigeria had a problem with the British and the British was paying them reparations back, I wouldn't expect an African American to go over there and say about you owe me too because we black. The same
Right.
way, I don't expect anybody to come into our particular arena and try to get money off of our hard ancestors' pains and wrongdoing.
So I'm glad you brought it there, right? Because that's how this whole thing got exposed. Like kind of with Obama becoming president, but really around the reparation discussion.
Yeah.
Because it was CARICOM, Jamaica, the islands were coming at had come under CARICOM first. So that's why we say Pan-Africanism really is only practiced by Black Americans. And when we do it, it's either in America or in Africa or the islands. But we're saying people from the islands and people from Africa, they don't practice Pan-Africanism. Only Black Americans do, either in the country or outside the country. But those that live in the island or the continent of Africa do not practice Pan-Africanism. That's the furthest thing from their mind. They don't. They don't do it.
That's not true. That's not true.
I know. I
Okay.
was gonna say.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Wait. Who said that?
I said it,
That's
Dex.
Dex.
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch this. Now look. Is that Wakuku talking?
That's me now.
Okay, cool. No, I know that you were talking before. So now this is what I mean, bro. So for me, it's like when we have these conversations, let's try to be as studied as possible before we interject an opinion. Now, Dex, this is for you. Have you ever heard of the West Indies Federation?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, so dude, what I'm trying to say is stay in your lane and ask questions. Stop injecting opinions, okay? So go look that up and go look that up, find that conclusion,
But that
and
doesn't
come back and say,
disprove
okay,
anything.
I got you. It just did. My point was that they don't practice Pan-Africanism within themselves. Look at that. They tried. It failed in 4 years. So it did disprove the
I
Pan-Africanism.
know people personally.
Hold up,
Okay,
Dex.
okay.
Dex, let me ask you,
My
Ron,
God.
because I heard you say, Ron.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, listen to me here. All right. And this is from Chat GPT, just an overview.
Yeah.
The ones in Africa only, I told them, give me the only ones in Africa that practice Pan-Africanism. And it says, here are the Pan-African practitioners from the continent only, just the names, so no descriptions. Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Haile Selassie, Patrice Lumumba, Ahmed Sekou Touré, Thomas Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi, Leopold Sedar Senghor, Gamal Abdul Nasser, Amilcar Cabral, Samora Machel, Nelson Mandela, Kwame Ture, born in the diaspora, but practiced, because Kwame Ture was from America, you know that. But so it says born in the diaspora, but practiced Pan-Africanism while living in Guinea. And I got just 5 more. Ojinjinga Odinga, Modibo Kete, Kenneth Kaunda, Iname Azekwe, San Nujuma, Agostino Neto, and Walter Rodney, born in Guyana, an islander, but African-based practitioner in Tanzania. Go ahead.
Okay, so now here's the problem. This is the problem when people wing it versus me when I'm well prepared. Now, Nkrumah, ask how long did it last when he tried to practice Pan-Africanism with those 2 other countries? How long did it last? I'm gonna tell you, it lasted 4 years, and then they all went their own way. That is called the Pan-African Liberation Movement of the 1960s, bro. So that's the difference between somebody winging it versus somebody who's well read and studied. All of the names you said failed in 4 years. They didn't get far.
Okay.
Infighting. This guy Nkrumah wanted to do he had an idea. He wanted to do it real fast. I forgot, like he wanted to do something real fast. And the other 2 countries that he was African countries that he was negotiating with, trying to build a bond with, they said, "Nah, take our time," and they just fell out. 4 years ago, gave up, never looked back, went independent. And then other countries didn't want to lose their independence, right? Because they felt like joining up with other countries, they're not going to be independent. They can't flex their wings.
That's funny, Ron, because I just Googled it and you was 1 year off. It was said 58 to 63 high Pan-African activity. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So you see, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like this is the stuff that Uncle don't do. They cosplay. They wing it, Brother Reggie guys. I actually sat and learned this stuff it's in my mind, like I
It's,
know it.
you
And it's
got it. You
live.
can regurgitate.
Yeah,
But see,
yeah,
Ron, listen
yeah.
to me on that. With that, you're an excellent person. I think not fighting for the wrong team. I'm gonna say fighting not the whole fight, because I'm gonna say this: with minds like you, and in every endeavor, I bet the pyramids fell down a few times before it was built.
Maybe, but this is what I'm saying, that how can I'm saying they're not ready. I'm
Yeah.
saying they need to, in business, there's something called proof of concept. Like you
Okay.
can't pitch it because you can't conceptualize something or pitch something and say, hey, this is it. And
Yeah.
that's what Garvey problem. Garvey pitched something and had no momentum at all behind it. Zero.
Right. That's so
Hey,
tough.
hey, may I ask you why is that though?
Well, which one for which statement?
For the one you just made.
With Garvey or the which one?
For the one you just made where you said that it
Yeah.
didn't stick, basically.
And are you talking about Garvey or just like other African countries that try to
I'm
which
talking about
one?
Garvey.
I said two things. Okay. All right, you said Garvey. You said why? Because he was never serious to begin with.
But I feel like that's just disingenuous because if he
Okay.
doing it,
He said this. He said disingenuous. Hey, bro, listen. I'm gonna guarantee right now. It's not more. It's not too many people you know in your life that know more about Garvey than me. All right, watch yourself, brother Reggie. Yo, go watch my video with him. Brother Reggie said he didn't want to touch Garvey with me. All right, so let you know this is a scholar, right? Who said you got it, Unbiased RON, you got it. He didn't want to do Garvey at all with me. So watch your mouth. Now he sold stocks, right, Dex?
yeah, he
Stock
got convicted.
certificates,
He got
right?
convicted of mail fraud, but that was just
No,
because.
no, no, no. Okay, no. You're fast forwarding. I'm not even there yet. I said, did he sell stock certificates? Yes or no?
Yeah, everybody knows.
Right. For okay, then what's his line called? I was going to tell you. What was his business called? The ship line. It was called what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Everybody, but
It
he
was
just said
something like a
everybody knows
black.
it. It's called Black Star
It was
Line. Right.
that's what I was just gonna
Okay,
say.
okay,
It was black.
okay.
Yeah.
But you just said earlier everybody knows it. So I was just going to tell you, but now you're acting like everybody knows it. It ain't deep, but you don't
I mean,
know it
this
though.
your
So
job though. You feel me? I'm not on here all day.
I take it serious. That's the difference between you. You're cosplaying, and I'm real. Now, Marcus Garvey, he wanted to go to Africa, right? Repatriate in Africa, right, Dex?
Could you repeat?
He wanted to bring.
Repeat? I didn't hear you.
Okay, Marcus Garvey, those ships, Black Star Line ships, apart from like so-called trades and goods, he wanted to take a lot of Black Americans to repatriate into Africa, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, what part of Africa?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I gotta research these
See,
things.
like you shouldn't, but it's common sense for Pan-Africans. It's like
I
this.
mean, you trying to test my intellect, but I could do the
No,
same.
no, no, no. Because you said no. Well, not on this topic. You can't. I guarantee that. Not Marcus Garvey. So now watch this. I'm only saying this because I was going to tell you, but you said everybody knows this, but apparently you don't even know it.
I didn't say for that
Okay.
specific thing that you asked me. You said.
Okay.
All right, I can't respond, so I'm gonna just let you go.
Nah, I said okay. I didn't even say much more. But all right, but look, let me answer your question totally about Garvey. Now, did Garvey meet with the clan Dex?
Yeah, I believe so.
For what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
To sell us out. That's why.
I don't
That's
think
why
it was.
I said what
I
I
don't
said.
think it was to sell us out. I
Hey,
believe.
bro, hey, bro, Dex, the clan just did the
I
bloodiest.
say why I think
Hey,
it.
Dex, no. Hey, Dex, you need to learn some history real fast. The clan just came off the Red Summer. You know what the Red Summer is? That's the most killing they did amongst Black Americans.
Yeah, I get
They
that.
just came off that. Okay, now watch this. So,
That's
okay,
what
so the
bosses do.
murder. No,
You meet with the enemy. That way, y'all get a plan
yeah,
set.
wait. No, but white supremacy is the meeting, not just the Klansmen, bro. It's the
I,
entire
I get
system.
it. I get it.
Hold on. But
Who's
they're
doing
not
the
the
killing?
leaders, though. Okay, dude, they're not the leaders. They're a bunch of rejects, ignorant fools running around killing people.
They're the
The
ones
average
doing the
white person.
killing.
Uh,
They're the ones doing
okay,
the
but
lynching.
Lex, you either know or you don't know. So now you know now, right? You know now, right?
Dude, I'm just responding to what you had already put out.
Okay, so do you know about the Klan meeting or not?
I just told you I know that it happened, but I'm saying I don't know exactly why it happened. Why would he meet with them? But I'm
Okay, so was
giving
that
my
normal?
I'm giving my opinion
No,
on
no,
what he
I don't want no. We're recapping history. I don't want no opinions. Do you know personal opinions? Do you know historically, was that common or taboo for Black Americans to meet with the most murderous organization against blacks? The biggest op. People talk about ops. This is the biggest op. Is that normal at that time
Didn't the
for Black
Nation of
Americans?
Islam do it, Ron?
And Elijah Muhammad did it for a
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I'm on it, bro. But for a different reason. But hold on. But even a lot of these decisions we find questionable, we disagree with. You dig?
Okay.
We disagree. Yeah. So because also them too, they're thinking that the Klan got some power. The Klan don't represent power in America. It's a bunch of fucking hooded cowards
Ron,
running around terrorizing
Ron,
people.
they were doing the
Yeah.
killing. They were doing the lynching.
Next,
Why,
next,
why would
next.
he not?
Slow down. Next. Listen, relax. That ain't the people who you go to. You don't go to the people who hate your living guts to
Why
negotiate,
y'all asking
right?
for reparations from white people if they hate your
Okay,
living
yeah,
guts? Why you
right.
asking for it?
Okay, so you see that he went from the Klan to the average white person. Family, this is why I usually mute him, throw him in the back, because at one minute he doesn't know anything, the next minute he's a scholar, and then he just compared the Klan, a specific organization that has a dirty history of blatantly killing, terrorizing black
The
people. This
American government
particular,
does too.
okay, I got you, Dex. I got to put you in the back side, bro. This guy. The average white person ain't a card carrying Klansman, Dex. Now I know a lot of you Pan Africans believe that. You try to trick us to believe that. But Black Wall Street, they had business deals, they had business ventures with a lot of white folks with their insurance companies. So we're not gonna play the white man's the devil on this live. Okay. We're not gonna do that. All right. All of them are just so evil. They're all Klansmen. No, it's not like that. All right. So he's out of here. So we can skip past the whole Garvey conversation because he ain't know anything. It's common sense. Everybody knows that he don't know no more. Just back and forth. All right. But this is Uncle No Man's. He gets to go over there and talk forever in circles. Over here, we try to educate Rakufu. We try to
Yes, sir.
educate, and I don't care if you got information and then you want to give your spin on it. You know what I mean? That's welcome, but don't just give an opinion to something you and never he never looked into it. So be quiet and wait till we talk about something where you feel like that's your area.
Let me say this, Ron. I think
Yeah.
that you and that brother right there, just sitting back, he sounds like you both sound, I'm 55. I think both of you are younger than me. Is that safe to assume?
Yeah, I'm younger.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's a youngster, Dex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, let me
man.
invite him back. Wait,
Y'all
where you go?
yeah, you're gonna have to, he sounds like a very or I like his character, I like your character. I like that it kind of bumps heads, but y'all kind of like real like if we was locked up and it was a riot, y'all would be back to back fighting that white boy together. I already know.
Well, it might be a riot fighting against him and his crew.
I ain't gonna get into that. I'll leave that alone.
it
But
just might
I
be
like to
him.
see y'all help each other out because
It
that's
might be white folks teaming up with us against him and his crew.
wow. Yeah. But I just don't
Okay.
I would like to see him get that, understanding like you got too, the wisdom behind
See,
what
the thing
how
is,
yeah,
you gotta
not what
want
you
it,
do,
man.
it's how
Like,
you do it.
yeah, but you gotta want it though. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, Marco, some people are just sit here for their own reasons or by some else's reasons to cause confusion
Okay.
and to be adversarial, right? You've seen that on Saneter, right? You see, okay, look at Apostle Saneter. Saneter trying to explain something. Apostle's a guest. Saneter get this guy the microphone spotlight all day long for how many years now?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
know who this guy is. He's dumb as rocks, but everybody know who he is. And he's still not respectful. He's still over talking. He's still emotional. He still get kicked off.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Look at me. Look at JJ. Same thing.
Man.
Crash out king. So some people just look at Unc. Another one.
That's
Crash out king.
amazing right there. You would think with the information but the character,
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah, because I can sit there and
Now,
learn. I can hear you and I can say, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And I like Suntan too. Suntan may not know a lot, But the things he
Wait, now
do know, he
I
got.
want. Okay, that's a guy. Please, I need him over here. If you can get that guy, I want him.
All right, all
I
right.
want him because Reggie dumb, but he's not dumb enough to call in.
Hey,
And
hey,
neither.
Neil, I like Suntan too. Suntan.
Yeah, I want. If y'all can get me suntan, that'd be beautiful.
Okay. You don't want to persecute him, do you, Ron?
Now I'm gonna talk to him like I talk to Dex.
Okay.
Dex. I say Dex. You know. Now, okay, Dex, be quiet. Let me go then. It's just
Yeah.
like that. It's not gonna be cut. I ain't gonna do no
No,
cuss you
no,
out. And,
but Ron, you stay cutting me off when I'm trying to make my point, so you can make a point
okay,
when
so
you
what
didn't
point
hear. You didn't
what
hear
point you
my
want to make right
original.
now?
Hold on. But you never hear my original argument
I'm
before you
saying
start
go.
cutting me off.
I go because
Let's
I know where it's going. But go ahead. Go ahead.
let's let no a conversation. You got to
I'm
let.
an elder.
I get it, but you have to let a person finish their point before you start trying to rant off about what you think he's going
Not,
to say.
that's not true. That's not true, bro. That's not true. If you take yourself now, look, this is the small stage. If you take yourself to Pierce Morgan, Candace Owens, stop it, bro. You're not gonna be talking 3 minutes straight. They're gonna
Talking
stop you
about
the
regular
minute.
conversation. We're not talking about a
Yeah, no, but
show.
okay, okay, but listen about me though. I don't have regular conversations. They're all recorded. They're all live, and I consider myself a YouTube journalist, bro. Okay, that's what I call myself.
Oh, okay, so Ryan, I got a question for you. So, what you
Yeah.
doing the YouTube for? Is it for a real conversation behind real action, or you just want the clicks and views?
Well, I believe I have real conversations on a regular basis, bro.
But you just said that it's not a space for real conversation.
Never said that. I said you take yourself to Pierce Morgan, Candace, on these bigger channels, you're gonna be cut off. See, the thing is, do you know who Dr. Khalid Muhammad is? Like he's gone like what 1990.
Yeah,
He
Saneter was his bodyguard.
okay. So now Dex, he used to be on all these white supremacist shows. Phil Donahue, Sean Hannity, they cut him off left and right. But you know what he learned how to do? He learned how to be strong and concise within those 30 seconds of the time they did give him. So the 30 seconds, he got in a lot of powerful information before they cut him off. So I said, I gotta learn how to do the same thing, right? Malcolm X, same way. And just keep naming like the people who are great orators and great debaters or speakers, right? Same thing.
I respect exactly what you're saying, but then again, we having conversations about history. We're not having this regular
Yeah,
conversation.
but you said you don't know about the history we're having conversations about. You just said
I
you
was
don't know it.
I was giving you my opinion on what I thought
Yeah, but
had.
I don't. But
I
then
had
we're not
think-
talking history. Then we're not talking
Yes,
history.
yes, we are. We're talking about history, but I'm giving you my opinion. You don't know why
Okay,
he
so give me your opinion. No, we do know. We do know. All right, so
don't
see
know why a
now.
person does what they do. We're all people, bro. We don't know.
Okay, so we don't know. Okay, so with that logic, we don't know why nobody does anything. The white man, the red man, everybody just we don't know nothing. You're right.
I'm not saying that we don't know nothing.
You
That's
just
not what
did.
that dude.
You just said we don't know nobody's true agenda or true will.
That's straw man fallacy. You know what straw man
Hold up,
fallacy?
Dex.
You
Hold
just
up,
said
Dex.
that.
Hold up. And let me ask you, Ron and Dex together. So, Dex, Ron, I know what both of y'all are saying. Dex is trying to say, okay, there's a general history here. Let me read that history. Ron is sitting there listening to you read that history. Then Dex gives his opinion. The part about Dex's opinion can be right or it can be wrong, but he needs to get it out so that from Ron's perspective, how he judges is right or wrong, Dex can hear it. But at the end of the day, it's still both of your opinion on a subject that's a concrete historical thing that
No.
happened.
Okay, so you got experts who speak about
Correct,
that.
Neil. Neil,
Wait,
you're exactly correct.
Dex, yeah, of course, Dex will say that. That's not correct, Dex,
Go ahead.
because history again. Yeah, you said too. Now you said you're gonna talk history. Then you got to give your opinion on what's historically recorded and documented, not your opinion on why somebody did something. So if I just say right now, hey Dex, this guy just robbed this other guy and he mumbled something.
Okay.
So you're just gonna tell me, well, my opinion why you robbed him. It's like, so you don't want to wait for no available data, no news story, or no article. You just want to. No, that's not how we do it here, bro. and
No,
that's not
no.
even
What I would say
coincide.
to that analogy is it's a different reason on why he robbing
Okay,
somebody.
so okay, I got you. But we never gave one. We asked you yours. But Garvey, bro, what? See, the thing, Wakufu,
Yeah.
is that when we talk about the origins of Pan-Africanism, it's very important. I thought Q Butter would tell me, but I don't think none of y'all know. And that's the thing. When you don't know the origins, you'll say something about Garvey and the Klan, and you don't know what happened before, why Garvey would even go to the Klan or even Elijah Muhammad. There was something that happened before they was probably been born in America that was their motivation, and they seen the Klan as another white supremacist organization. They seen them as that. That's why they went to them. They thought they could fund something. So Elijah Muhammad thought, hey, if I go to the Klan to help us divide America, this part for black, that part for white, you don't touch our women, don't touch yours. That was his plan with them.
Yeah.
Marcus Garvey plan,
Segregation.
Dex. Yeah, Marcus Garvey plan, Dex, was for the Klan to fund the repatriation to Liberia, Dex.
Yes.
Yes, Steve. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's what that was. But the Klan, but he overvalued the Klan. The Klan was not that powerful. They had no strings, and they ain't had no money like that, and they was
They
not
were
even
just
interested in that.
hillbillies.
Right, and they were not
Broke
even
ass
interested in that.
hillbillies, overseers, and broke motherfuckers.
Okay. Yeah,
Excuse my
so
language.
Dex.
Ron, no, excuse my language. They were just broke
Yeah, no, you good.
overseers like
Right.
police and the higher up. Now, we got to know in the Klan, you do got senators, governors, you do that has ties to the like their royal dragons and stuff of that nature.
That's what I
Yeah,
was.
I'm sure. Yeah,
That's what I was
but
getting
Dex,
to. That's
yeah,
what I was getting.
but
Hold
Dex,
up,
you
I'm not
can't
jumping you,
say
Ron. I'm trying to hear your question.
no. I'm saying
I mean your
Dex saying
answer.
that's what I get. Dex saying that's what I was getting to. Dex. That is called speculation. Now, I agree that that's a high probability, but Dex, you can't say that and affirm it. Like that's just still
Okay.
speculation, because at the end of the day, we need names.
Okay, so let me
Uh,
GPT. That's a good thing to find out. I can simply
yeah,
say
names,
yes.
power,
Hold
and
on,
their role.
I got it right here. He met with the
Names, power.
KKK. He met with the
Yeah.
KKK to reduce violence against UNIA members in the South, in the U.S. South.
No,
His,
Dex, you got to look up.
Yeah, wait, wait.
You got to look up who is a high member of the
Where you read
KKK.
that
What
from?
position? Yeah, in America, like a
Bro,
senator.
he met with the Grand Wizard. Hey,
Yeah,
Dex, while you doing that, Dex, go back and
the
no,
Grand Wizards
I don't want to do that to you.
KKK
No, you turn on, go. You gotta get ready for
high
bed.
positions in American government
Yeah, get ready for bed.
and give me sources of their position.
Go. No, stop. It's not a toy.
Oh, I got something for you. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, here's the verified historical. Actually, my question was, I said, out of the grand wizards of the KKK, was any of them in high positions in the American government? And if so, name them and give me sources of their position. And it says, here's the verified historically documented truth, not rumors. Because your question is very specific. Were any grand wizards of the Ku Klux Klan ever in high positions in the U.S. government? Answer, yes. One grand wizard became a U.S. senator. Several others, high-ranking Klan leaders, not grand wizards, also held major political offices. I'll give you only the confirmed ones with their position. Nathan Bedford Forrest, title, First Grand Wizard of the KKK, 1867, 1869. Government
William
position.
Joseph Simmons.
Huh?
I said William Joseph Simmons.
Oh, just let me name his position. Now I'm gonna get off of it. No high federal office, but he was a Confederate general, not U.S. government. David Duke, Grand Wizard of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan,
David Duke.
1970, Louisiana State Representative. But go ahead.
I said William Joseph Simmons.
Okay.
Hey, you muted, Ron.
Now I'm listening. I'm letting Dex finish.
Oh.
But that's what I was going to. That's what I was going to, Neil. I was really trying to explain my premise, like my argument before,
What was your argument? What was your argument, bro?
I was trying to tell you why I think he met up with the Klan. That's
Why
what I
you
was trying to
think?
tell you.
But how,
But more than likely it was right. More than likely I was
no,
going
it
to be.
wasn't.
Yeah,
No,
you
no,
don't
it
know.
was
You
wrong.
don't know that because you didn't let me.
That's why I saved you. What I already told you why he went to the Klan. It had nothing to do with you and I ain't members in the South. It wasn't that many members in the South, right? Most of the membership was up north. But but um but let me tell you this, man. So Dex, when Marcus Garvey came here, he linked up with now. Hey, no, now this is the part that's gonna be a defining moment here.
Okay.
He met with the Klan, some at that time the worst Americans ever meet in your life. Dex, did he bother to meet with any prominent black activists? Dex, Dex, come off mute. Don't say Booker T. He was dead. Okay, Dex, name the black activist that he linked up with.
You can hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah. W.E.B. Du Bois.
No, he linked up with
Yes.
him. No, he did. Okay,
No,
what
he
did they
didn't
start?
like. They didn't
What?
like each other.
Yeah, this dude is nuts, yeah.
You said they didn't like each other?
No, Dex. They wrote letters hating on each other. Am I
Dex,
right,
W. Du Bois,
Ron?
yes. Dex, W. Du Bois was part of the Garvey Must Go campaign, bro. Yeah, you're not ready, man. You can't Google and beat me in a debate, bro. You can't wing it. Nobody could wing it and beat me.
Hey, Ron. What was the other guy's name? The one I'm thinking of to say, "Pull yourself up
My
by your
guy.
boots." No, the black guy.
Okay, so you saw Booker T.
Yeah, all three of them was in the same area, right?
Yeah, but Booker T was Booker T was different because he was dead by that time.
Oh, okay.
What,
Yeah. Because they
what
said Marcus Garvey
what
time.
was that? What was the other one?
Ain't no other one, bro. He
Yeah.
ain't meet with nobody.
It's multiple. It's like three of them actually.
No.
It,
Well, it's more than that.
I forget his name, man.
Okay, so but the question is, which black activist did he link up to solve America's problem with the American Negro at that time? He
Uh,
linked up with the Klan.
you said
Name the black activist. He linked up with the Klan. Now, what black activist did he link up with? This is our problem, bro.
he didn't link up with any black activists here.
Oh
He
my. Okay. You don't see the problem. So he comes to our country.
it do
He
say
don't
he
that,
indirectly did interact with
but he directly met with the Klan. Listen what I'm saying, Dick. Listen to what I'm saying before you respond.
dude,
Marcus
I'm not
Garvey.
even finished. He indirectly interacted. That means he did interact with W.E.B. Du Bois.
Negatively. No,
No,
it was negative, bro. It was negative.
dude,
It was a
dude,
negative, indirect.
all right, go ahead.
Dude, he called for him to be deported, my boy. What are you talking about? It's called the Garvey Must Go campaign. Go Google that. But check this out. Dex, listen, you said indirectly. Let's say some of that's
No,
true. That he
I'm gonna tell you what the source says. It says they
Dex,
did.
Dex,
All right, go
Dex,
ahead.
Dex, are the words indirectly?
You said communicate, so it could be
Dex.
directly communication or indirect
So
communication.
wait. So you think indirectly means direct?
I said it could be either or when you're talking about communication.
Okay. So when you read the words indirect anything, you think the word direct could be in there, family? This is the problem, and that's why I say there's no hope for Dex, Neil, because he can't understand basic English. He thinks indirect means direct. So Dex, let me say this to you. A lot of our problem with Marcus Garvey is that he was a foreigner who come to a country he knew nothing about, did not know about. He came to speak to a certain population of people, right? And he didn't know anything about them. He didn't know what we were fighting, how far we were in the fight, how close we were, how what I mean, how close we were. He didn't know what we were fighting for. He didn't give a goddamn. He came with his own conclusion, and Dex, it was conclusion that no black leader, black activist had come up with. None of us were trying to lead the country. We were all uh, comfortable and content with being American. And we said we fought for this country, we died for this country, and we're gonna fight to be a part of this country. Right? It's gonna give us our rights. That was the argument, all the way from Frederick Douglass, my guy. Okay, all the way down to W. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington was not a Pan Africanist. He was doing everything in America to stay in America. Right? Watch this. Garvey didn't link up with nobody directly, but he
Dude,
directly linked
I'm
up with
reading I'm
hey
reading it from
Dex, hey
chat.
Dex, hey Dex, Dex,
I'm
Dex.
reading it for Chat
Okay,
GBT
now he
right
just
now.
talked
It's
about.
telling
Okay,
me
I
that
got
he
you.
did.
Dex, Dex, I'm going to meet you. Going to meet you. I'm going to meet you. Okay. Okay, Dex. Okay, I'm gonna throw you back in the back chat. Now, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Marcus. The dude is not
He
trying to
did. He
understand.
met with
Okay,
W.E.B. Du Bois. It's saying it right here. What
go
are you
ahead, read it.
talking about?
Read it.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, read it.
Yes, Marcus Garvey did meet or directly interact with several American Pan-Africanist leaders. Though some
To do what?
relations. Hold on, let me read
Wait,
it.
wait, wait. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, yo, dude. Okay, Dex. Stop being emotional, my guy. Okay,
Dude,
look, hey, look. I'm gonna kick
I'm
you off,
reading
dude.
the
You're doing
source.
too
You
much.
can't
Yeah,
knock the source.
dude. Yeah, but you're adding too many feelings here for no reason. Nobody's even on that,
Okay, I'm gonna just
but we
read it.
can.
I'm just being
Okay,
clear.
No.
Dude,
All right, goodbye. Right, we don't do that, man. Go back to channel. Go back to channel. They do all those feelings and stuff. We just talking regularly, and every time I chime in, it's like I'm pinching them. Like, okay. Look, he met with. I don't even got to Google this stuff. I'm on the phone. I'm not even like trying to Google and win an argument. I'm just off the top. I know he didn't meet with W. Du Bois to do anything great or to accomplish anything. Like I said,
Maybe
he
to
came
argue and
here.
hate each other.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, we met up to do what? To box, celebrity box. Um, but this is a guy who just responds. I just said, Dex, you don't even want to understand what I'm saying. You actually can disagree, but you don't even want to understand what I'm saying. I know you're understanding. I'm saying Marcus Garvey skipped past all of the black activists and met with the Klan. Marcuso. How does that look? They're looking like, because okay, they already think what he's doing is suspect because he's pitching a repatriation idea and he's selling stock certificates. Everybody like, whoa, because these are poor black people. Nobody else is like asking for get up, man. You're gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Yeah, so
Hey,
everybody,
look, I'm about to get out of here, but I'm finna sign.
yeah,
I'm finna subscribe to your channel so I can get alerts, and I'll be talking to you
yeah.
soon.
Get Sultan over here, bro, and Sultan Moses, one of those
Okay, I got you.
guys. All right, all right. Suburban, you was on mute the whole time. I think Suburban sleep. I think he's asleep. So, dude, Dex, man, try to be nice tonight and not say words that that I don't think he's all there, man. I don't think he's all there. But he's worth an agent. He's he's what Elon Musk computer chips Neuralink is in his head. Yeah, yeah. He's the first prototype for Elon Musk Neuralink computer chip. Like he's the lab rat for that. Like that is sad, man. That is sad. I thought revenue was bad. God, yeah, but Dex he kind of argues like, oh, really emotional, don't listen, just want to respond. Being confrontational, can't calm down. Always like, dude, everybody's talking chill. Everybody, Cuba, everybody came on today. We're all chill. They said what they had to say, and they left at some point. Nobody was contentious. Nobody. That's debate. You know, I was even trying to avoid speaking about Marcus Garvey just so people can come and go with good spirits. but a brother brought him up, and I just shit. So I couldn't let that slide. If I let it slide, y'all gonna cook me. So I had to address that. No, Dex, I'm going to bed, Dex. Call tomorrow. Wait, let me tell Dex. And look, I guarantee you, he won't even let me tell him. He won't let me tell him. Hey, Dex.
Yo.
All right, it's 11:06. I'm gonna go on mute for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna let you just cook for 10 minutes straight. All right, going on mute.
So when I was trying to say is what the source is saying, right? The source says that here we go, right here. GPT clearly says that Garvey did meet directly and interact with several American Pan-African leaders, though some relationships were friendly while others were hostile. Okay. Pan-African leaders Garvey met and interacted with: W.E.B. Du Bois, one of the most important early Pan-Africanists; Henry Sylvester Williams; Cyril V. Briggs; Hubert Henry Harrison; John Edwards Bruce, or Bruce Grit, we know that; a Philip Randolph. Those are the main Pan-Africanist American leaders that Garvey directly met with. So when you say that he didn't directly meet with anybody or any Pan-Africanist American, then that's just false based on your usage of direct. It's called direct interaction. Also, let's talk about the word delineation. Let's talk about the word delineation that every FBA keep using. Delineation that the FBA keep using is directly to deduct from lineage. So the way FBA is using delineation is to deduct from or withdraw from lineage. That's not what the definition of delineation means. The definition of delineation is actually, this is 100% true. You can look it up, whatever, Google it, go find the dictionary. It's to portray. That has nothing to do with delineation. So y'all making up y'all own words about what you think you know a word means. By definition, that's not how you guys are using it. Y'all not using it from its primary definition, which shows me that you guys had no research whatsoever into the words that you're using. Y'all just using it because it sounds good. Also, when y'all say FBA, we built this country, no foundational Black American built this country. Actually, it was the continental Africans who built this country off the ships from the west Africa, from the Western Hemisphere. So that's a misconception that these dudes are fooling their audiences with.
So you say that to say what? What's the point?
The point is, I just made my point. It's a misconception of the word.
Yeah, let them get a few more minutes. Let them get 5 more minutes.
I don't mind him asking questions. I don't mind him asking questions.
Okay. Okay. I said 10 minutes straight. Don't worry, I got him. He's gonna prove he's slow.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, my fault.
No, it's cool, dude. I'm not tripping off of you asking a question. You can ask if you got a question. You can ask me. I'll answer it. But yeah, my point is that they're using words that the definition is not in agreement to what they're using it for. Delineation has nothing to do with pulling away from lineage. It has nothing to do with that. All it means is to portray. So if y'all saying, "Oh, we're delineating," then y'all portraying that y'all are a different lineage. Y'all not saying that we are a different lineage. You saying that y'all portraying to be. That's not what the word means. We can all look up delineation right now, and we can see it for ourselves. Don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself. And I'm done. I don't need 10 minutes to talk.
Okay, so you read the definition of delineation. Was that the legal definition, political definition, or Webster definition? Hello?
You want me to respond to it? What do you?
Yes.
Could you give the list out again? You said the legal and what else?
Legal, political, and just common uses like a Webster definition.
The Webster. That was the this common definition. Yeah.
Right. So you have a political definition, you have a legal definition, which all are different from the Webster definition. See, I was gonna wait to cook Reggie on this one, but I'm gonna still get Reggie because he said it. Can't take it back, and so did Unc dumbass. But let me help you out. Let me tell you what a lineage is and what delineation is politically. So I'm gonna give you a political definition for both. Well, lineage is biological. Lineage is a biological line of descent from ancestors that you inherit. You can't join it, can't quit it, you can't remove yourself from it. That's your lineage. Delineation, a process of distinguishing a group from other groups for legal, political, or organizational purposes. One more time. Legal, political, or organizational purposes. It's not biology, it's not ancestry. It is the act of drawing a boundary around a lineage group. These two concepts work together, not against each other. That's why you're wrong and Reggie wrong. Check these out. Lineage. Descendants of enslaved Black Americans who trace back to U.S. slavery. Okay. Again, it cannot be joined or quit. You and Reggie pretends that lineage requires a single ancestor, like a clan. That's why I said when we say lineage, you got to ask us how we're using it. Is just dumb. Like he's just dumb. Like everybody, he know he can't. Oh, dude, got you hella times being dumb. Especially debating divine prospect, dude. Don't make me go to the clips. Okay, just keep it where it's at. Okay, so when we say lineage, we're talking. It's a singular word that incorporates plural lines. Just like Native American. Okay, Native American. You can say Native American reparations. That's a singular word that incorporate a bunch of hella 300 tribes or whatever. Okay, so you could say Nigerian, singular word, people involved. Let's say my phone's tripping. Make sure my phone is going crazy. Okay. All right. So who is that sharing the screen while I'm talking? Hello? Okay, so this is a full. All right, now watch this.
Yeah, it's
A
sharing.
lineage. Okay, yeah. When you talk, you can share that. But again, you are going to Webster Dictionary definition. You too stupid to know about grammar. You, Unc, and Reggie. And I was going to embarrass Uncle Saneter about this one, with him saying it and Reggie at the same time. Two birds, one stone. A lineage, but they're going to dodge me now. A lineage group is simply a population descending from a shared historical category. Anthropology, that's science. Anthropology recognizes macro lineages, big historical populations, and micro lineages, family lines. Anthropology recognizes macro lineages, micro lineages. This is what happens when you listen to a pseudo leader like Reggie. FBA is a macro lineage. Reggie is mixing categories, and so is you. Okay, we're 43 million. We can't have one lineage. Nobody believes that. Okay, suburban don't believe his grandmother is my grandmother. This is an idiot argument that people will make up. It's a straw man. It's an idiot argument, and then they will argue against it. Now, Yoruba, millions of people. Igbo, Akan, Pashun, okay, millions. Large population is defined by a shared historical origin equals normal anthropology. You and Reggie and Unc incorrectly believes lineage only applies to tiny clan groups. Super duper false. Delineate has nothing to do with lineage. You just said both in one sentence, like an idiot, like everybody else. Delineation is exactly what you do when you legally distinguish a lineage group from others. Now, you got AI. Now, you know what's funny? They go to Webster Dictionary to type in the definition of delineate. Hey, share your screen again. Share your Webster definition again, Brother Dex.
Yeah,
There
Nah,
you go.
that was me, bro. My bad. I was just looking at the
Oh,
shit.
no,
I didn't know I
you,
was.
you do it. No.
Yeah,
Share,
I
share,
didn't even
share,
know.
share, share.
I didn't know I was
And I
sharing
want
that.
you to
But
share. If you can share. Do you have Chat GPT too?
yeah, I got it.
Okay,
hey, can
go to
can you
Webster
bring it
again.
back up? Can you bring it back up?
Yeah. I just asked him to. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do
Yeah, I got you. Hold
it. And you might just go a regular AI. You got to work with. Show your definition of Webster, and then go to a regular Google. We'll do regular AI, so you don't waste no searches.
Did he drop out?
Oh shit! You want to share your screen?
Nah, I could read it. My computer it won't let me share the screen for some
Okay.
odd reason.
All right. So I'll wait till. I mean, I'll finish up when he comes back. I hope you're listening.
No, I'm
Delineate has
I'm
nothing.
definitely listening.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Because I'm worried. I'm gonna chop up your heroes too. Delineate because I got it. I timestamped it. I recorded it. They can't delete it. I got it. Okay. Delineate has nothing to do with lineage. So now I just point out you could say Yoruba, and that doesn't mean it's one people. Yoruba could represent tens of millions, Igbo, Akan, and Pashtun. Okay, that's why I said large populations defined by a shared historical origin equals normal anthropology. So by us saying FBA lineage, we're no different than the bullet points I just gave you. That's why I say you guys incorrectly believe lineage only applies to tiny clan groups. It's false. It also applies to large populations. That's why I said delineation is exactly what you do when you
Can,
want to legally listen to the language, not with the dictionary, legally distinguish a lineage group from others. Watch this. Here's examples. Native American tribal roles equals delineation of lineages. Freedmen of the five civilized tribes equals delineation. Japanese internment reparations equals delineated by ancestry. Holocaust reparations delineated by ancestry. So y'all statement is linguistically and legally incorrect. Here's your misuse of delineate. You guys treat delineation as it means assigning a lineage. Super duper wrong. Delineation equals drawing a boundary around an already existing lineage. So when we say lineage, we're talking about descendant of enslaved black people in the US. That's Adolf, descendants of freedmen, FBA. When we say delineation, we're making sure that lineage receives reparations, justice claims. This particular lineage. Watch this.
Okay, could I respond after?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
But he's
So
not gonna respond. He's just gonna talk. Go ahead.
no, I'm about to literally respond to you.
Go
So
ahead.
I think you just shot yourself in the foot, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
So when you look up the etymology of the word, right?
This guy said etymology. I
Yeah.
just said when you look at words, you have like for example, when
Oh, okay. Hold on.
you
Hold on. Let me
oh
respond. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's my show is about the correct information, not about winning or losing and trying to gotcha. Okay. When talk about a theory with people, the common person will believe a theory is anybody's idea on how something, why something is done or happening or put together. That's called a layman understanding, but that's different from a scientific theory. Science has their own definition of words, and so does the medical industry, and so does the pharmaceutical industry, and so does the tech industry. They use the same word you use every day, but they have their own definition of how the word should be used. I just said delineation and law and politics equals something different from Webster Dictionary. I even gave you opinion. I mean, I even gave you like bullet points of how the Japanese delineated, Native Americans delineated. This is things that one people can do. This is part of legal and the political
Ryan,
realm.
Ryan, you shot yourself
No,
in the
no, no.
foot.
I got you. You know what, Dex?
The etymology don't change it. The etymology don't
Uh,
change if it's
okay,
if it's law.
okay. Look. You said etymology, right? Now, family. He said the etymology doesn't change. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got one in my hand right now.
Okay. What is the etymology of kids? It's a baby goat. So you got a baby goat in your hand? Oh, it doesn't change. He got a baby goat in his hand right now, he said. Too easy, bro. Yeah, etymology is the beginning of a word and it changes a lot of times to something means something absolutely different than how it originated. Okay, what you're doing is pseudo linguistics. See, television, you're telling lies to the vision. I don't go to libraries because that's where the lies are buried. That's what you're doing. You sound like Oswald Bates here. This dude said that, your family, there's a plethora of examples of a word starting off as something, evolving to mean something opposite of that or completely different from that. That's not how it works.
So
See,
you saying
words got definitions for a reason, man.
so you saying
Um,
oh go ahead, go.
yeah, so let me just finish. So our self labels, they change over time. Colored, Negro, you had Afro American, you had Black, African American, those of our ancestors who were freed or emancipated were called freedmen. We got Adolf, we got FBA. Okay, so names evolved, identity is equals consistent, right? So those societies were voluntary groups, right? You can join, let's say, the AME Church. You can join the African, whatever society. Those are groups, organizations to join. Churches, religion. You can't join the FBA lineage. Okay, uh, just can't. It's not nothing to join. Now, when I just gave you the correct use of delineate in the political realm in the legal realm. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay.
Can
On what basis?
tell you why after you done?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me why. But make it worth like. And I don't want your opinion because like you're tethered, so you're gonna always say something stupid. But like make it make sense. Like make it like make sense where you're not making something up just to be adversarial.
You are you ready for me to speak or?
Yeah, not speak. Just answer that. That's the thing. I don't want people. I don't want you just
But what was
talking,
your
man.
question? What was your question again?
Okay.
I didn't get your question clearly.
So you heard when I broke down delineate and lineage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Delineate. Okay.
Because you shot yourself in the foot. I'm just waiting on
I
so
got
I
you.
can yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen first. So you let me know if Google shot themselves in the foot too. Okay, hold on. Okay. I shot myself in the foot. Let me know if Google did.
I don't think I could see it on the screen. Oh,
Not
there,
yet. You will be able to.
there you go.
Yeah, I got you. Mhm. Okay. Where did I just? Uh, let me see. Over here. Is that no? That's not it. Right here. Okay. Listen. When people say they are delineating, it means they are clearly describing, defining, or outlining something with precision, like drawing lines on a map to show borders, specifying roles, or detailing an idea so it's understood exactly. Focus on boundaries, characteristics, or steps. It's a formal way of saying to define. So when we say we're delineating, it's a formal way to say we're going to outline something, define something, or describe something accurately. So we're using this word correctly. We are saying we're going to define us, and that's going to be different from everybody else. We're going to outline and we're going to describe who is FBA and who are we and everybody else. That's what delineate
And you're
means.
doing it politically,
Okay.
right?
Dude, it doesn't matter. We can do it socially. The fact is, you just read the AI understanding of what it means to delineate.
May I respond?
No, that's either true or false. Do you agree with AI's definition or not?
I agree with AI's definition, but
Because
I'm trying
all
to make
right, that's it.
I'm trying to make my point.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to bed, my guy.
All right, bro. You never let me speak. You never let
Yeah,
me.
that's all you want to do is speak, man.
No, I want to make my point.
Yeah, no, you don't, man. All right, man.
You
Let's
shot
see.
yourself in the foot. That's what you
I
did
know, I
because
know,
you don't even
I
know
know.
what I was
Well,
gonna say. All right, good
bro,
night, bro. You
it's
this is all
11:30, man.
pseudo. This is all pseudo. It's
I
to
gotta
fit
wait till.
your narrative. To fit your narrative.
Okay, right. Yeah. So Google's on board with my narrative. I got you. It's a whole conspiracy
No,
theory.
you don't. You said politically, but then again, yesterday you told me that y'all was not a political movement. Like, how are you using political definitions? You shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Is this dude? Yeah. Are you really slow, bro? So okay. So right now, I'm
How
not
can you
part of.
use a
Wait.
political definition for
Wait.
something
Hold
that's
on.
not
Hold on. Hold on.
political?
Yeah. I'm gonna make you look dumb.
What are you talking
I'm not.
about?
Okay. You gotta be stupid and quiet. Let me respond. You ask the question and be quiet now.
No, I'm finna
You
leave.
just
I'm
said.
finna leave your platform. That's what I'm finna do.
All right. All right. Okay. I'm still gonna talk.
Because you just contradicted yourself.
I
Fuck.
got you. Yeah, my man said, how do you, he said, how do you not be in a political organization and be involved in politics? Are you dumb? So I'm not in a political organization. I can't vote, or I can't go to a council meeting and express my. I can't go to a board of school education. This guy's retarded, yo. But that's what they produce over there on those weird channels that Unc had. You dig? Like you know how smart you are when you listen to the people who join the panel. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cook on Reggie video tomorrow. We had a dope discussion here with everybody calling. Had a whole bunch of Pan-Africans calling. You know, we kept it cordial, respectful. You know, I didn't force. I didn't force conversation to argue or debate. I said, let's talk. Everybody see what they got to say, and if I adamantly, no, if I vehemently disagree with something, I was going to chime in. And the only window I had to do that was the Marcus Garvey reference somebody made. That's all. And they didn't really fight too much with that. But Dex, he's a real character, man. But when you got a show, channel, when you're part of a channel, when you subscribe to a channel that's desperate for content, they actually let Dex get on there and go. Yeah, last night, I was like, that Dex, I mean, they had that dude going in. Like, he's a scholar. I'm like, damn. I'm like, Dex is like making a name of himself over here. He's gonna be a pseudo killer very shortly. Um, so we got this African guy who's trying. I ain't gonna say his name. Shout out his channel, but he's trying to be like the new Frank, the new everything's FBA, disrespectful, old, ugly African booty scratch looking dude. Corny, no views, nobody goes over there. He's trying his best to be the new Frank Zanu. Ain't paying off. Um, oh, I'm trying to find my chat. Hold on, fellas. Hold on, family. Let me see the chat. Let's see what y'all talking, and then we're out. Pause that. And he comes to FBA to get chicken fried. Yeah, I should have asked him how old he is. He's in the chat. Dex, how old are you, man? Be honest. Yeah. He's either 15 or he's 55. Uh, no, he is a waste of time to talk to. Trust me, I do not. Let me say this, man. I do not enjoy talking to him, man. And I'm sorry I had to like that. I had to like. I ain't have to, but I'm sorry I let him talk. But the dude is just absent-minded, man. But I hope all y'all enjoyed tonight's live. It was surprise. It was a surprise. I didn't expect a hell host of Pan Africans to pull up. But it was cool. I just hope they do it one by one. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking to 25 different people. But yeah, and I want to further talk about Pan Africanism. I thought that was a good, good spot to start at about Pan Africanism. And is it needed, or is it a foregone conclusion, or if we were to ever consider it, should it be in the back burner? And all those questions. One, two, three, four, five, or one question, A, B, C, D of that one question. Now, me personally, right now, and again, for me, when I hear Pan Africanism, I only consider the Caribbean. I don't, or Haiti. I don't consider Africa at all. And like I said, the only people who try to practice Pan Africanism, it be people from the Caribbean and America, United States of America. I don't ever know of Africa thinking about Pan-Africanism, and look how I see Pan-Africanism. I look at Pan-Africanism as people within a country, as looking outside the country to link up with other people to do something, great. I don't think Africans do that. I don't think they look outside themselves to say, hey man, let's do something with Jamaica. Because if that's the case, why they ain't doing nothing? Like, yo, family, we are within a country. We're the minority. So if we even had Pan-African dreams to do something with Jamaica or Trinidadian, like our COINTELPRO government can easily sabotage that and do it, easily thwart that. What is stopping these two countries from communicating? These are two countries. They have all the power, the control, and communication. Who is stopping them from communicating? Like, so, lead by example, man. They should be all linking up. They should be all doing things great with each other. And then we should be like, wow, man, that's cool. Let's see how we can get in there and fit in. That's not the case, man. Like they want us to lead it off, be the lab rat. I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I go and go handle it. 4 or 5 years they tried and gave up. But now all of a sudden, this is the year where, and then they say that enemy talk. Like, oh shit, like the white man's the enemy. See, not doing that. That's that Elijah Muhammad back in the day rhetoric. The white man's the devil, and everybody that's skin folk is your kinfolk. You can trust him. They think just like white supremacists, but they're your kinfolk. Like, dude, stop. All right, family. I ain't gonna hold you anymore. Peace. We'll get up tomorrow. I think I might just do the Frank's a new thing tomorrow. Debunk his crap. We ain't got no culture. I think I might do that tomorrow. Probably like 8, 9 o'clock. All right, we out. Thank you, family. Peace, peace. I did see some super chats earlier. I didn't get a chance to read them because I was like in like engagements in real time, so I didn't get a chance to read the super chats. But I appreciate the ladies' love super chats. If anybody cash that, thank you for that too. And we'll be tomorrow, 8:39. If no new thing come up, if I don't go to Saneter and cook on these guys, then we're gonna do the Frank the new reaction. We're gonna react for him on a daily cruise saying we don't have any culture. He's gonna give some stupid ass examples of why we ain't got culture. And I'm gonna respond to it in real time, real reaction. Peace. Love you guys. Be one. We one. We out. How do I get off this? Okay, here we go.